talking about Star Wars from back in the day. You got a talk show called Geeky Geezers, it's true. A spinning old tales about the stuff that went through. From Atari to Trek, they know every line. A Geeky Geezers, man, they're feeling just fine. Like Pacelli's got a lightsaber, he swings it with pride. A Boomer's got a Game Boy, plays it deep in the night. They're ranting about He-Man and old X-Men too. On Geeky Geezers, they're the nerdiest crew. Talking Transformers, toys that twist and they turn. A singing blues for the geek life, the heart still burn. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. We're talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Be Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. A Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. Fans in the studio, mics turned up loud, reminiscing about Thundercats, feeling so proud. Pacelli loves Spider-Man, Boomers for Hulk. They argue about Star Trek with passionate bulk. From Betamax tapes to their old D20s, a Geeky Geezers where the nostalgia flows. They got fans in the chat, from the young to the old. They're tuning in to hear stories that never get cold. Talking Ghostbusters, Proton Packs, toys in the box. And Saturday mornings with cartoons that rocked. Pacelli and Boomer, they're keeping it real. A Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Go Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. We're talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Eat Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. A Geeky Geezers with that old school feel. Oh, Geeky Geezers, they're living the dream. We're talking comics and movies, they're busting the seams. From Battlestar reruns to D&D lore, they're preaching the gospel of geek evermore. Eat Pacelli and Boomer, they'll never grow old. A Geeky Geezers with hearts made of gold. They're singing the blues for the games that they played, for the VHS tapes and the arcades that frayed. But the spirits are young, though the hair's turning white. A Geeky Geezers keep the nerd fire alight. So tune in each week to the Geeky Geezers show. Pacelli and Boomer, let the good times flow. From X-Files to X-Men, they're dropping the news. They're singing praises of geek life with them old blues. Pacelli and Boomer, forever they'll be. A Geeky Geezers living wild and free.
You know, I don't know. From X-Files to X-Men, I think those are more my thing than your thing.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Not that I'm obsessed with the X-Men, but I did grow to like them because of that 90s cartoon. And then the Fawkes movies, which were hit and miss, but I still like them better than any modern Disney output.
I was pretty much stretching it with the Thundercats. Neither one of us is really big on Thundercats.
Quiet you. Anyway, welcome everybody to Geeky Geezers, where we love every geeky thing, no matter how obscure, and we're always the number one fan. Yes, sorry.
Exactly right.
Number one Thundercats fan here. Love Lionel, not that's the train set line. We love Lionel trains here too. We love it all.
That's true. I love the there was a what was it, Robot Chicken that did a riff on the Thundercats where Mumra is pretending to be to infiltrate them, becomes like their maid or something like that, and then accidentally walks in on Cheetara giving herself a bath the way a cat does, and gets all hot and bothered. And I'm like thinking about, Cheetara probably created a whole generation of furries. Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah.
I remember the early days of YouTube. There was someone who did a wonderful fan mock-up of a live action Thundercats trailer, like an actual movie. And instead they used the woman from Farscape, who later seasons, they used her as Cheetara in the trailer. And then they had Vin Diesel, but they tinted his skin blue like the one of the characters in it. And
because that character was bald, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was and there's even a line where Vin Diesel, this is from Riddick, where he says it's an animal thing,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, so in other words, it was all like digitally edited.
It was all like repurposing things from other science fiction
Nice.
things. Like they
And
got
that
the
is
actress from Farscape in there.
kind of like the one that they did with the Justice League, if it was back in the 70s
Yes.
and 80s. With
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. But what was I going to say about that? Did you? Of course, you saw the live action commercial or promo for. No. It was literally a commercial. I don't know if it was for a car company or something, but it was a Norwegian commercial that did live action of the kids from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Really?
It is so good. I mean, you see this and you're like, if you're going to do a live action something or other, that's what we want.
I need to check that out now. I'll look for
Yeah.
that. First off, let me say hi to Lynn Green. Welcome to the show. I think you were first.
Thank
you for
you.
liking.
She
It's always
liked us. She really, really liked us.
Marc Malnekoff. I claim this place in the chat. Copla, drive by. Thank you,
Thanks.
Marc
He's
Malnekoff.
probably working tonight. He's had a really busy week in the dilithium.
Great show,
mine.
geezers. Hope everyone has a great week. Thank you, Big Al. We will do our best, though we are going to be talking about Jimmy Kimmel a little bit, so we'll see how that goes.
Maron. He's unfortunately a big part of this stream.
I don't know how in depth I'm going to go into each of these articles because I'm
we can almost just read the
head titles and you have an article. Just
comment and move on to the next one. Yeah.
Jessica Hardo, welcome. Oh, and of course, Netter of Netters Network. By the way, I didn't introduce us, did I? Welcome to Geeky Geezers. I'm your host, Agent Boomer. This is my co-host, Bob Pacelli, and my other co-host, Netter of Netters Network. Welcome, everybody.
It has become so old home week. We just assume that everybody here is the usual suspects. Y'all know us. We all know you.
Welcome, Connie Cleary, welcome, and Zatopia, welcome, and Ruby Hugh. We want to give a special shout out to you for gifting a membership to Netters Network.
You are just so generous and so wonderful, and join us. Join me for Liquid Lunch tomorrow. I have a little bit of a. It's not anything big. Don't get too excited. I don't want to sound like clickbait here, but I'm going to have a little bit of a channel announcement for tomorrow. So. Try to join me if you can join me.
I also want to thank Geek Flag with Nate for the $2 super chat.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Nate. You are good people.
Ruby Hughes, $5 super chat saying can't stay, but have a good one.
Yeah, I understand. You're a busy person there, Ruby.
And she also did a gifty on my channel for the Horror Cat Dad.
Yep, welcome back to membership, Horror Cat Dad.
Welcome. And like I say, thank you, Geek Flag, for the super chat. And I keep thinking when he says, how you doing? It's like, Joey.
How you doing?
I miss Friends. I miss comedies.
Do too. Well, you're not wrong. It's gotten pretty rough out there. And we're going to probably be talking a little bit about what constitutes comedy and what constitutes just belly aching.
I'm trying not to swear on this channel, but this is going to be a hard one tonight.
I understand. I
feel like a certain industry is just filled with idiots, and another expletive I want to use.
It's not just the industry either. Jerks. Everybody that listens to them and gives them airtime, and most of social media, for crying out loud. The sheer volume of idiocy that I'm seeing lately, just I don't understand. I mean, I don't know.
Deleted Scene says he needs a theme song.
Okay, I'll work on it.
21 sort of has a theme song, doesn't it? I mean, there's no lyrics, but.
Well, yeah, it's the what's it called, White Bat Studios or something like that. It's a great channel with great music that they allow you to use, and this one just was so perfect for Twin Peaks. I didn't see any reason to go any further, but yeah. I think Deleted Scenes as a whole. Let me work on that. Let me see what I can come up with for you, buddy.
Speaking of Deleted Scenes, y'all got to say hello to the rest of the chat.
You were getting there. Okay. We're getting there.
I just said hi. Hello, Jessica Hardo. Hello, Connie Cleary. Hello, all the people coming over from Unscripted's channel. Rough day today. Thoughts and prayers go with, unfortunately, the people the
Oh
victims
gosh, another one. Yeah.
that attack in Michigan.
This is the kind of stupidity that I'm talking about, because there's so many people out there already jumping on. We know who it is. We know why he did it. Blah, blah, blah. How are they going to spin this one? And it's like, guys, have you just forgotten the last one was just a few weeks ago? And you were jumping all over one guy, and then 24 hours later, you find out it wasn't him, it was somebody else.
We wait and
so maybe slow your roll a little bit, you know. What is that line from Tarantino? The less one makes declaratory statements, the less they are apt to look foolish in the retrospect.
Don't worry, Boomer, I'll curse for you, thank you. And welcome to Topia, the chat. And used to be Jedi Master Zootopia, but I can get why you might want to take Jedi Master off of there right now, right?
I guess, yeah.
Considering
well,
the state
that's why Outlaw Bill got rid of Jedi Bill, so, you know.
Because it's just, John Campia, I think once he commented on one of your liquid lunches, I think he was making a point about Star Wars, how he just feels nothing for it anymore. I feel bad. It's like,
yeah, I know.
And to be fair, I think that's happened with a lot of our favorite franchises. It's like...
We don't have an article on it specifically tonight, but I know that WDW Pro was talking about it, and you guys may not even realize this, but they dropped the trailer for The Mandalorian, and pretty much nobody has paid attention to it or noticed it. People have gotten that apathetic about Star Wars. They don't even care about the trailer for The Mandalorian.
For the movie, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that it dropped. All right.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We're not even paying attention anymore because we are so.
I didn't even think to put that as a news story because no one cares. Okay.
And thank you, Big Al. He dropped the link to it was for Renault, the Renault D&D commercial.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Big Al.
So you can check that out at your leisure. But that's pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
So do you want to bring the presentation up?
Thanks to you, I can. Yes.
We're having some technical difficulty behind the scenes, but I think it's all good now. And that's okay because it gave me a chance to insert another game. Because for good old days tonight, we're talking about a portable gaming console that none of you may have heard of, but for its time, it was revolutionary. And this is the Atari Lynx.
You can tell from that box, it's very much late 70s, early 80s kind of a doodah, you know?
It's not a late 70s, early 80s. Let me bring up the Wikipedia article on this.
What, is it 90s?
I think early 90s or, yes, hold on. Let me look this up. So obviously you were not, this is where our age gap comes in.
Yeah.
Because you were probably busy dating and getting married and that sort of stuff.
In fairness, you are right. In the late 70s, handheld games were these little LEDs, not LED, these little screens that had, they were LEDs, little red LEDs behind them, and you just had these dots to represent whatever. You didn't actually have real graphics.
No. This came out, introductory price $179.99, which would be $460 in 2024 according to inflation. I always wonder if those numbers are always botched, though, because I figured they would still figure out a way to lower costs. But anyway, $179.99 upon release, came out 5 months after the original Nintendo Game Boy in September of 1989. My older brother had gotten one in the summer of 1990. This was a portable game console, which, let's be blunt, a lot more advanced looking than the Game Boy at the time. The Game Boy,
true. Yeah.
I want to call it black and white, but it was really just 4 shades of green. Okay, that's and no backlighting either. You had to. You basically had to roll with those. You needed to get that thing under a lamp too to see what it was.
Well, and then there was this goofy thing that you could connect onto the Game Boy that had literally a magnifying glass.
Yep,
to make
I
the
had that.
Look bigger with a light to brighten it up. It folded out so you had, in quotes, stereo sound.
Yep.
It was, and it was kind of expensive too. It's like, and this add-on, I don't know.
I didn't have the one with the stereo sound, but I had the one with the light and the magnifier for it because you needed it for the Game Boy Advance.
I couldn't rip on it too badly because I do remember my grandmother telling me that back in the day when TVs were fairly new, they had these big old magnifying glass things you'd hang over the front of the TV to make it look bigger too. I'm like, that sounds right. She said, yeah, those were terrible. She said they distorted everything and it was terrible for your eyes, but people bought them because people are stupid.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird how technology comes about. I remember I was visiting Franklin Delano Roosevelt's house once, and I got to see an early version of the television set. Because remember, the television set did exist prior to World War II. They just weren't widely owned. Few people owned those things. And his television set, it opened up, and what happened was, it reflected off like a top thing. Like you kind of open it. I don't want to say like a record player, but like you kind of opened up a wood panel, and then something reflected down onto a mirror, and you stared down at it. And that was very similar to one of the first portable TVs I ever got, which did the whole mirror thing, except that was in portable form because they didn't have the technology yet to have the tube on yet, I guess. So it was just it was very odd. And I as soon as I saw it in this house, I recognized, wait a minute. This is my portable television that I spent $100 on.
And I knew about, that generation of TV, but I always wondered, what the hell did they watch on it? It wasn't like, years later when you had, studios putting out regular television. It's like, what was broadcast?
News, perhaps?
Maybe. I don't know. Now, of course, that gets me starting to think some sort of retrofuturism where FDR is having TV phone conversations with his generals during World War II.
You never know.
Yeah,
You never know. Under wraps, perhaps. Anyway.
Right.
So here we are. This is the Atari Lynx, though. This was a full-color portable backlit screen.
Yeah.
And
it looks pretty cool.
Pretty advanced. Took batteries, or you could use a portable power charger, plug it into the wall. And it was actually, I think technically it was a 16-bit portable. It didn't have high resolution, though. That was the one thing where a lot of the graphics on it looked kind of blocky. But it could do this. What were the effects on the Super Nintendo? Like the Mode 7, that kind of scaling, which the Super Nintendo touted it when it came out. But here you have the Lynx doing it a couple years earlier on a portable machine. Yeah. RCA 1930 sites was debuted at New York City Fair with a price tag of $600. Very few people actually own one. Yeah, because it's expensive. That's what people don't understand. Even the only reason I think that we had such a high adoption rate early on of the high definition television is I think people thought they weren't going to be able to watch TV anymore because they kept saying, "Oh, it's not going to be able to get the signals anymore." Not understanding that, look, if you're using satellite or cable, this doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah,
you can just get the stuff hooked up to your TV like
always.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The other thing is that this is, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Every time a new technology comes out, it's always very expensive until it, becomes more and more common. The prices then start coming down. We saw it happen with physical media. We saw it with televisions. We saw it with computers. We saw it with everything. Lester is saying that the Game Boy was cream spinach color.
It was. Sega used to make fun of it on its commercials because Sega had the Game Gear, which was their color portable. Again, though, Game Gear, 8-bit system. This was 16-bit right here. This is Atari's 16-bit, though I would argue that a lot of the software output on it was by Epix Games. They did a lot of Commodore 64 games. They released a lot of stuff on this thing. But Fedora, welcome, Jack and FiveFourty. All right.
Thank you so much. And Booger, good to see you, my friend.
There it is, and it's all its glory.
It is pretty sleek looking.
Yeah, it was funny because, again, they did a focus testing, and they had a smaller model and a larger model. The focus testing said, let's get the larger model. Big mistake. Portable systems should not be real large. Not that stops modern portable systems from being huge, which doesn't make them really portable, does it? But anyway.
True.
I'm looking at you, Nintendo Switch and Steam Deck.
Okay, well,
anyway.
But did you guys used to take this in like car trips and stuff and play in the car and stuff?
My brother would take it with him places, but here's another problem with this, and this is the big thing that I think led to its downfall. It would eat batteries.
Oh gosh.
And you could buy it later on. They came up, I think, with like a battery pack that you could charge or something and hook onto it. Or maybe it was just something you could put C batteries into so it would last longer. But Nintendo actually, they understood that, yeah, the Game Boy may only have 4 little pixel colors, 4 shades of green, and it may only, and it's not backlit, but do you really need fancy graphics for Tetris? No, and the batteries last a long time. They understood it was battery life.
Yeah.
That, and of course later on, batteries would improve, and they'd have rechargeable batteries in systems, and it would eventually, where you could have these backlit color systems that would last a while, but the technology wasn't there yet. But let me tell you a little bit about the games. California Games was the pack-in. You might have played this on the Commodore 64. With like
doesn't look
surfing
familiar to me.
and the
No,
hacky
I don't
sack.
think so.
Okay.
No, not this one.
Oh, look, this version of the links is at my local antique shop. That's interesting, Jesse. Who knows if it still works? No, it's an antique at this point. I can't even.
It's an antique. Oh,
no,
I
it
feel
is an
terrible.
antique at this point. I'm sorry. It
Yikes,
happens.
Yikes.
Look at that. You have look at that. You can play surfing. I remember the commercials had these kids in high school, not even high school, it's elementary school, and they all have their Atari Lynxes, and they're hooking them up through cables because you could do up to 4 players, and they're all in the boys' bathroom stalls, and they're playing the surfing game on the toilet stalls while they're supposed to be in class. I loved that thing. Oh, the Link would overheat. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know the Lynx would overheat because it was powerful.
Yeah.
Look at those graphics, though, huh?
Is that Missile Command?
It's a new version of Missile Command they made exclusively for the Lynx.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It came packed in with a souped-up version of Asteroids as well. But let's see. That's Rygar by Tecmo. That you saw that on the front of the box. Right. I was always impressed with this. This is an arcade game that got a port on the Lynx. Pretty good port, I thought, all things considered. Now we get to the box art. Slime World, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, the 8 and 16-bit era of games where they would just throw anything at the wall and see what stuck. I miss it. Slime World. You're literally crawling around a world of slime and shooting at things. Come on. What more can you ask for in a game, right?
There you go.
That's just slime bait in the corner. Let's see here. Chips Challenge. This was also available on PCs, but
I had Chips Challenge. Yes, okay. This I played.
Yeah, so the Atari Lynx got a version of this game too. I like Nerdy Chip. Isn't he like stuck in a computer? Is that what the thing is? He's collecting chips because he's stuck in a computer world or something?
Like that, yeah. I have vague memories about it.
Like a puzzle game, yeah. So you had to like do things in a certain order. There he is in the Lynx version. This actually game is a lot of fun. It still is. I think you can still find it for purchase on like Steam or places like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
A version of it. Gates of Zendikon. This is like a shoot 'em up, but really amazing graphics. So look at that color, huh?
That is wild.
For 89?
Yeah. Amazing.
And portable, too. I mean, come on.
Gauntlet! Yes!
Not just Gauntlet. Gauntlet the Third Encounter.
Okay.
This is like an exclusive Gauntlet game made for the Lynx. People thought it was another game they repurposed as a Gauntlet game. You had so many characters to choose from in this version. That I think is some kind of... It's not the Valkyrie. I think it's like an Amazon or something character you could choose from. Yeah. You could be a football player and throw like footballs at things. Okay, it's
That's
ridiculous.
Funny.
But yeah, they had an exclusive Gauntlet game that was pretty cool. Ninja Gaiden.
Right.
Yeah, that was. And this is the arcade game. Remember you said you liked the arcade game. It was actually the arcade game. They got what happened?
I don't know. I don't know. Is that all that you got out there? Maybe.
Oh, no!
Oh, jeez. Okay.
We were having some technical difficulties earlier, people. I could always share screen, worst case scenario. Okay.
Yeah. Let me do that. Let me call it up. Give me a
all
second
right.
here.
Oh my goodness, we were so close.
I am pissed at EVMux. I am not going to be renewing next year. I'm telling you.
How does it only have part of the slides? It said the whole thing was there.
I don't know.
Anyway, this was, of course, Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game, which I would have showed you a screenshot of, but it vanished on me.
Give me a moment.
Sure, take your time. Take your time.
I'm not sure.
Why does it like show slides and then it just shows the screen? Is that weird?
I don't know. How do I advance this?
It wants to be difficult. That's all.
Okay.
Where were we?
We were on Ninja Gaiden.
And can I go full screen? How do I go full screen on this? Anyway. What if I just F11? That doesn't.
F11. I think you're wanting to say F you right about now.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Sorry, I should have checked before we went live. I thought it uploaded okay, though. It looked okay when we looked at it. Anyway.
Well, this is going to... unless you have a better way that you can share it. Let me...
just do it this way.
Screen. Entire screen. Share.
Listen, we didn't even used to have... You remember when we had started. So I just add... I'll let you do it. Okay,
wait a minute.
There it is. It's all right. We'll just do it this way.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, there is Ninja Gaiden. Look at that, huh?
I can probably even take this out a little bit bigger.
There you go. See? Listen, y'all.
I mean, that is not significantly different graphics than what you got on the...
arcade.
Yeah.
No, I mean, this is...
away. What the hell?
This is fairly sophisticated for the time.
Yeah.
You know, this is not bad. I mean, this is 16-bit. It's just that the resolution wasn't high, so it looks very blocky if you blow it up. But when you're playing it on a portable, it doesn't matter because the screen is so small.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, all hope as well, Jesse. Yeah, we're doing all right so far. Keep in mind, y'all, that the presentations didn't even used to be a thing. That was something we added later. It used to just be our voices in the void. But go ahead, let's go to the next one.
Ms. Pac-Man, yeah.
Got a version of Ms. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You know, striking for women's liberation there. Look at that, huh? And if you go to the right, go the next clip, you'll see the next one. There you go.
Oh, that's actually better graphics than you got on the Atari 2600.
It's not bad. It's not... You notice how the ghosts, they don't have the full eyes? When it would go to cutscenes or the main menu screen, you'd see the ghosts full on, but I think because they had to shrink it down so much, they had to make them look more simplistic. But it's a decent version of Ms. Pac-Man, especially for a portable title. Yeah, not bad. So, oh, look at that. I wanted links at the time because I had a soft spot for TurboGrafx titles. That's interesting. I had a TurboGrafx team. So move forward one. This is Dracula the Undead. This is very interesting. This is the only example of a point-click adventure game on the links. And it was. It starts out with Bram Stoker talking to you. Says, I'm talking to you from 1895, but we are going to present Dracula in a way that I could have only dreamed of presenting to you back in the late 1800s. And basically, it's the first part of Dracula. Jonathan Harker stuck in the house, in the castle, and trying to get out. And it's basically like a point-click adventure game. See, so and it has that whole sepia tone look to it.
Kinda, so yeah. I dig it.
It's rather cool, yeah. So go ahead and let's go forward again. Moving on to Shadow of the Beast. The Amiga Triumph actually made it onto the Atari links. Look at that. Go forward one. I mean, I'm not going to say it's as good as the Amiga version, but not bad for a portable. Come on. And I just... Cool. Yeah, and unfortunately, some of these versions you can't get anywhere now because, of course, licensing and whatnot.
Right.
But go forward one, that might be it for... Yeah, and that's, of course, and that's the newer model they released later on because they realized, wow, we made this thing too big, so they made a smaller, more compact version. But by then,
Looks like it's a little bit thicker, but a little bit stouter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like if you make the screen smaller, it makes it hard to...
I don't think the screen got smaller.
Yeah, they kept the screen the same thing. The screen wasn't huge, by the way. It was probably around the same size as the Game Boy screen, but... It seemed fine to me at the time. Plus, when you're a kid, I'll say this. I don't think you care if screens are small. I think as you become older, you're like, yeah, I wish this was bigger. You know, because your eyes aren't what they were.
Well, right? I think as you get older, you start thinking, I don't need to take a game with me. I'm going to be the one driving anyway. I want to be able to play a game at home, you know, in my comfy chair.
It's weird, as I've gotten older, the lore of portable game devices. I mean, I buy those things like those Super Pockets I get you.
Right. Yeah,
I
yeah,
get those
yeah.
myself. And by the way, that Super Pocket I got you for the Atari does have a couple of Lynx titles on it.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
Yes, it
yeah.
does. So if you want to see what the Lynx was like, you could try those out on that. Not
There
all
you
of them. It's
go.
like 4 with the
Sure,
along with
sure.
2600 and 7800 games, but pretty cool. But of course, this system, again, I think it was the battery life that killed it. Sega came out with their portable, the Game Gear, a little while later, and of course they had more robust third-party support. So Atari got beaten again. So
Yeah.
but I give them points though, because unlike some of their other stuff they were putting out, they actually were trying to push the technology here. Like I felt the 7800 was not up to snuff with like the NES, or at least it was. They could have done more with that, but here they really were pushing the envelope for what you could do with portable gaming at the time. So I have to tip my hat to this. Yeah. Don't think I've seen a Lynx before, and you never will again. Okay. Anyway, unless I do
yeah,
really
yeah.
bit.
Well, unless you go to the apparently to the antique store, from what I understand.
Keep an eye out, though. I will say this: Atari, whoever's running Atari right now, they like releasing these older consoles or replicas of things. It wouldn't shock me if someday they do a replica Lynx console with a bunch of games on it.
Yeah, and it won't overheat on you because they can use modern technology.
Whenever I mute on streams, that's why I do it.
Oh, because you were going to sneeze?
All right. Yeah, I love Miss My Game Gear. Again, that's another thing. I don't know why Sega wouldn't do that. Okay, our first story of the night. Oh boy.
Oh, is he making one of those salutes? Is that what that is? See? We can do that too.
Google to bring back accounts banned at Biden administration's assistance. Google told House lawmakers Tuesday that it would reinstate YouTube accounts that the Biden administration pressed them to remove over content related to the thing I can't mention on YouTube. So the
apparently you
pandemic.
Can now.
Okay.
They're obviously acknowledging that you can now.
Like, can I mention that the disease was called COVID-19? I'm not even saying what its origin is or about treatments. I'm staying away
here's
from
what
that
happens.
Right now.
You can mention all these names, okay? I know we're all still reacting as if it was 5 years ago.
Yes.
You can say COVID-19. You can call it the Wuhan flu. You can call it whatever you want to call it. What's going to end up happening is at the bottom of our screens, you're going to get a little blue, if you want more information, go to the Google-approved sites for getting information about the science we want you to follow.
Yeah.
Because we don't think you got a brain and can figure this stuff out yourself.
No, we don't want you to have a brain and figure it out for yourself. We want you to just believe what we tell you. Political flu. Yeah, thanks, Clue.
Alphabet Chief Counsel Daniel Delvin told members of the House Judiciary that the 46th administration created a political atmosphere that sought to influence the actions of platforms based on their concerns regarding misinformation. It is unacceptable wrong when any government, including the Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company Alphabet moderates content, Donovan wrote, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts in the First Amendment grounds. Users, including current FBI Director Dan Bongino, now White House Counterterrorism Chief Sebastian Gorka, and War Room Podcast host Steve Bannon, had been yanked off YouTube video site in recent years after being flagged for repeated violations of COVID-19 and election integrity policies. Those users will now be able to rejoin the platform, according to Donovan's letter, a copy of which was obtained by the Post. Not good enough.
I agree.
Not by a long shot. You were yanking people out with no good reason, and now you're blaming it on a prior administration. These were your decisions. You can go ahead and blame and say you were coerced or bullied into it. I'm not buying.
Yeah, there is nothing that's, if they felt that strongly about it, they should have and could have. They could have sounded the alarm, and they could have gone to court over it, and they could have gotten all their Hollywood friends to sign a petition about free speech. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Yeah,
here.
well, it's free speech for one side, not for the other. That's what I'm getting the impression of.
Rules for thee, but not for me. Exactly.
Like not being able to air tributes to certain people who were unfortunately cut down recently. Anyway, those users will now be able to rejoin the platform. Yeah, okay. YouTube takes seriously the importance of protecting free expression access to a range of viewpoints. Donovan said that's a lie. Of course, I don't want to say that because then I'll get yanked. Anyway, YouTube values conservative voices on its platform, recognize that these creators have extensive reach and play an important role in civic discourse. You have gotten rid of people who have done nothing wrong except express opinions contrary to the mainstream. That's it. You have ruined livelihoods on this, and you gave no reason. I'm sorry. There's got to be an investigation. This doesn't end here, and I hope whoever's opened this up keeps pressing them. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
Not even for my sake, just for other people's sakes. We'll be following this story closely. Hopefully that's not the end of this. Ridiculous. Looks like Steve Jobs of Wish. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, let's move on. Jessica Chastain in the news recently.
Oh, God.
Charlie Kirk assassination aftermath of Jimmy Kimmel. That's the headline. Sorry, that's what this is under. the category. Jessica Chastain slams Apple for delaying the Savant after Charlie Kirk assassination. Jessica Chastain has spoken out after Apple TV Plus delayed the release of her thriller series The Savant in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. I want to say how much I valued my partnership with Apple, the actress 48 wrote on Instagram Wednesday. They've been incredible collaborators and I deeply respect their team. That said, I wanted to reach out and let you know that we're not aligned on the decision to pause the release of The Savant. Chastain continued. The last 5 years since we've been making the show, we've seen an unfortunate amount of violence in the United States, the kidnapping attempts on Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, the January 6th attack on the Capitol, the assassination attempts on Donald Trump, President Donald Trump.
Oh, well, I'm glad you acknowledged that.
Political assassination of the Democratic representative in Minnesota, the attack of Speaker Pelosi's husband, the assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, the recent shooting. So let me give the long and the short of it. I did watch the trailer for the series a while back because I think Critical Drinker was skewering it or somebody was skewering it, and it was basically like right-wing MAGA types planning bad things. Jessica Chastain goes online in the chat rooms to get to the bottom of them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like this. As far as Apple's wanting to pause it, I'll say this series was not something I had any interest in watching. It looked like pure propaganda, and it looked like something that, frankly, I don't know why I would subscribe to a service to watch. But yeah, Apple TV said in a statement, after careful consideration, we have made the decision to postpone this event. We appreciate your understanding. We look forward to releasing the series at a future date. So I guess they're afraid because of the Kirk assassination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was about to say, well, who cares about this? And I realized I'm the one that sent you the article. Anyway.
Well, and at the same time, it's like, this is once again, people kind of forgetting where their bread is buttered, right? If you're on a platform, like we are here on YouTube, and we can be critical of them for certain, Google and so forth. But in her case, she's literally on Apple TV.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to have you on at all, you're gone. We'll get more into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, maybe just say, thank you. I understand you had to interrupt the intended premiere of my show. But thank you for having me on at all. No, you just got to get critical. And honestly, all it takes is somebody above her at Apple to say, I didn't really like this show to begin with. Bye. Boing.
Tax credit time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, seriously, I don't know why actors keep opening their mouth about this stuff. If the company wants to postpone the series, they get to do it.
When you own the platform, you can decide what happens. Otherwise, shut your damn mouth.
You work for them. I don't understand this. Are they worried that it would come out that script gave someone ideas? Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, because maybe it's demonizing one side of the aisle. Oh, we really have to take care of that. Those
Booger makes a great point. This isn't significantly different than Doctor Who. The first episode of Doctor Who being preempted by the JFK shooting. I mean, these things happen. I'm sorry, get the hell over it.
Why?
The world does not revolve around you and your
They think it does, though. They think it does. All these celebrities think. Yeah. Well, I've heard of her. She's been in movies, but she's not the superstar she thinks she is. None of them are. This is not Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall time, or even the stars we had in the 80s and 90s. I'm sorry, you're
That's okay because all of these people are going to be replaced by AI. We're going to be talking about that in the very near future.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to the next thing.
Right.
So now we have to run through the.
You're a little clunky here, so bear with us.
There we go. Whoopee.
Yeah.
The View address. No, sorry. Hold on. Is this the View? Yeah, the View addresses Jimmy Kimmel's suspension.
Funny,
Whoopi Goldberg kicked off today's episode of ABC's The View by addressing the elephant in the room. Did y'all really think we weren't going to talk about Jimmy Kimmel? I mean, have you watched the show in the last 29 seasons? No one silences us. The View drew speculation.
Yeah, you might want to tell your legal advisor about that. And all the times you've had to retract stuff there, Whoopi. Think that through a little bit.
Certain statements about, I think, the Holocaust, I think she said. Anyway. The View drew speculation from viewers and commenters last week when the daytime talker failed to address the suspension of ABC of Kimmel's late night show, Jimmy Kimmel Live. Today, Goldberg explained the show's decision last week. While the news broke last week, Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, we took a breath to see if Jimmy was going to say anything about it at first. She added that the show took the same approach when the news of the upcoming cancellation of CBS The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Goldberg then slammed the FCC's apparent role in Kimmel's suspension. Someone can say something they shouldn't and get taken off the air, she said, but the government cannot apply pressure or force to someone to be silenced.
Again, outright lie.
They always say this. I think one guy made some statement about something, but I don't think the FCC took any specific action.
They took no official action at all. None of this had anything to do with the FCC.
Goldberg added, "We talk about freedom of speech a lot because we are always in somebody's mess because somebody has decided that we have said something that's offensive, but we fight for everybody's right to have freedom of speech." You do? Because I remember Sharon Osbourne having to cry because he defended Piers Morgan for not believing Meghan Merkel when she had an interview. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay, because it means my speech is free. It means your speech is free. If was Sharon Osbourne on The View or was she on the other show? I don't remember, but I remember that was a thing.
She was on. I think she was on The View. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Co-host Anna Navarro started her comments on the Kimmel controversy by thanking the viewers for demanding truth and courage from us. You deserve it. Okay, I've had enough of this. They're talking about
Jesse Guajardo compares this to the Charlie Kirk thing to John Lennon, and how people talked about how Mr. Rogers, for example, talked about death and scary times, because that's what he did. He tried to help kids with stuff like that. I would say less like John Lennon and more like, sorry guys, I think the best example is Martin Luther King, someone who wasn't a politician but was talking about politics and influencing the culture. Mm-hmm. That's and the impact that it's had on people is also very similar to the assassination of Martin Luther King. Yeah. I think history is going to bear that out. So, shut up. The View is a bunch of cackling hens. Nobody watches these shows. That's what gets me. We talk about these shows because we talk about entertainment, but the viewership for these shows is so damn... Well, we'll get to that. Go ahead.
Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep among 400 plus signing ACLU letter following Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. This is the moment to defend free speech. Is it the moment to defend people lying on air about news events? I'm just saying. Okay, yeah. Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Ben Affleck, Ben Stiller, and Lin-Manuel Miranda are among the 400 signatures that signed an ACLU letter calling out government threats to our freedom of speech in the aftermath of ABC's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel. Again, this was ABC's decision to suspend Jimmy Kimmel, not the government. It says it in the sentence. Efforts by leaders to pressure artists, journalists, and companies with retaliation for their speech strike at the heart of what it means to live in a free country, the open letter says. See, this is them shaping the narrative.
Wouldn't you know, Jane Fonda signed it. Jennifer Aniston. It's a great bunch of people here. It really is. Christina Applegate. A lot of has-beens.
I haven't heard her name in ages. Okay.
I know, exactly. That's why they do this, because they want people to talk about them.
The government threatened a private company with retaliation. So, regardless of our pinnacle of whether...
Dunst. Kevin Bacon, of course. Oh, and probably his wife. What's her name? From The Closer.
Yeah, her name escapes me for a moment. I'm starting to wonder if why the reason celebrity names are started. I'm starting to wonder if the reason celebrity names have been escaping me as of late in the last years.
Because they're becoming less and less important to us.
I think that's what it
is.
is.
When was the last time you saw them in anything? You know?
Yeah. So anyway, over a show.
There's some really disappointing ones. Scott Bakula. That's too bad. Well, that's okay. I'm never going to watch anything he's in ever again. Anyway, now that Star Trek's pretty much dead. Christian Slater. What was the last thing he was in? Don't remember.
Ages. That's a thing. These are all
right. These are all has-beens. And I'm skipping over all the names that I don't even know who they are because I've never even heard their name. Annette Bening, Annette O'Toole. That's a shame, Annette O'Toole. Used to really like her.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Amber Tamblyn we knew about.
I mean, part of it could be the bubble they exist in, and they think, "Oh, this is what happened." But I'm sorry, I've seen no evidence that the government was pressuring ABC to do anything.
There is none. They just believe some tweet that they saw on the Twitterverse, and that's it.
You better watch out. You better watch out.
It's not even that. It's their friggin' Blue Sky.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Because again, I feel like we had this horrible thing happen to Charlie Kirk and his family, and then Kimmel made it all about himself. That's what this feels like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I find it.
And Hollywood is focusing on. They're rallying to him because they see this as saving themselves, and it's not. It really is. They're just pounding nails into their own coffin as their industry dies around them. It really is.
So this was the other thing this week. Sinclair Broadcast Group abruptly canceled plans to air a Charlie Kirk tribute last week after the company's local ABC affiliates received multiple violent threats, forcing them to move the program to YouTube just minutes before it was scheduled to begin. The Post has learned.
Oh yeah, because we could be the next victims of the next crazy insane leftists, so we better do what they say.
Well, one of them worse because one of their affiliate stations was apparently shot at by some nutcase.
Yep.
But
guys, I'm going to say this right now. Do you understand what fascism is? Because the people saying they're anti-fascist are fascists. They're literally using fascist tactics to fight people who aren't fascists, but they're calling them fascists to excuse it.
So yeah, they just wanted to put a Charlie Kirk tribute on their station, which was their right to do. And so the Baltimore-based local TV giant, local threats directed at specific local ABC stations resulted from the ABC suspension of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, source said. And last week, a gunman fired at least 3 shots at the lobby of the Tengan-owned ABC affiliate in Sacramento, California. There were no injuries. Authorities arrested the suspect, who was later freed on bail. Wait, what?
Of course.
The FBI then took the suspect into custody. So wait a minute, he was arrested in California, said, well, I know you were shooting at the place, but you didn't hit anyone, so you're free to go, but be sure to come back.
Yeah, be sure you come back for court. Exactly.
For court. In the days that followed, Sinclair executives grew increasingly concerned that airing the Kirk tribute would potentially inspire copycat crimes similar to the shooting in Sacramento, according to the source who asked not to be identified. Yeah, I know, but you're capitulating to the mob. This is what they want you to do. Sinclair notified both law enforcement and private security firms regarding the threats, the source said. The Post sought to comment on Sinclair. An FBI spokesperson could not immediately be reached for comment. Yeah, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like that the people they're always saying are the ones that are violent are not the ones that they're worried about. They're worried about... never mind.
Yeah.
Sinclair had announced earlier this week that it would replace Jimmy Kimmel Live with Kirk Special Findings. Okay, that's enough on this. You can watch it on YouTube, or maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's move to the next one. Are we on the next one yet?
Yeah, next star to preempt ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live despite Disney ending suspension.
Yes. So next star to preempt ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live despite Disney any suspension. So here we go. Next Star Media Group announced Tuesday that it will continue preempting Jimmy Kimmel Live despite Disney allowing the show to return to ABC. We made a decision last week to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live following what ABC referred to as Mr. Kimmel's ill-timed and insensitive comments at a critical time in our national discourse. Also lying about the news. People keep forgetting that he was lying. Okay. We stand by that decision pending assurance that all parties are committed to fostering an environment of respectful, constructive dialogue and markets reserved, the company said in a statement. In the meantime, we note that Jimmy Kimmel Live will be available nationwide on multiple Disney-owned streaming products while our stations will focus on continuing to produce local news and other programming relevant to their respective markets. Nexstar said. Nexstar owns 32 ABC affiliates. Sinclair Broadcast Group, which owns 30 ABC affiliates, also announced Monday that would continue to preempt the show. Okay. So I think that's all I have for this. So they're going to preempt it, right?
No.
Jimmy Kimmel's staffers know too much. Insiders warns as drama looms ahead. It's very much okay. So this was an inside report. I think you sent this to me.
This was pretty interesting.
By the way, I did a screen image for this.
There you go.
Look at that. Jimmy Kimmel, you like the blue? Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
That's the website. Okay. The drama between ABC, the drama between something and ABC may be far from over. Okay.
Sorry about that. My apologies. I'm trying to do two screens here.
What are you talking about? It's not you. I'm reading the article.
No, never mind. Just keep reading.
It's okay.
You don't see what's going on screen.
It's okay. The drama between ABC and somebody else, I'm assuming Kimmel. Kimmel's cousin recently opened up about the situation, revealed that there is still a lot of tension with the network and more bombshells may follow. After being suspended for making controversial remarks about an assassination, Kimmel's show will return to the airwaves on Tuesday, September 23rd. No, he made an assertion that the young man that did the assassination belonged to MAGA. He made a point blank statement, and that was not the case. Okay, that's a falsehood. That's what he said. People keep ignoring this part. I'm not letting that go. Jimmy Kimmel's cousin Sal Locano was featured on the most recent episode of the Bill Simmons podcast. During the discussion, Locano, known as Cousin Sal, hinted that more drama will come from his cousin's show. I wish I could say anything. There are a couple of bombshells still there, Cousin Sal said. I can't really say anything. You and I know too much. It's very emotional. Cousin Sal was also a comedian and writer for Jimmy Kimmel Live, remained tight-lipped about the situation, but added that even the show's staffers know too much but can't really speak about it. Not only our cousin, but all the people working for the show, and it's better if we're not talking about it in any way, the comedian said per page 6. Cousin Sal also noted that despite the drama, the show's staffers will be just fine. As for his cousin, he said that Kimmel is going to be okay regardless of whatever he chooses to do next in his career. He jokingly added that even if Kimmel decided to become a pop-up chef, he would do a great job making barbecue around the South Bay area. I would not be eating his barbecue. Okay, Cousin Sal's remark came before Jimmy Kimmel's suspension by ABC ended following an announcement made by the network. The statement noted that the network decided to suspend production on the show to avoid further fueling the tense situation surrounding Charlie Kirk's murder. It is a decision that we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have thus spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. Again, they keep saying, okay, here we go. The drama surrounded Jimmy Kimmel Live dates back to Summer Sting. During his monologue, the American TV host took a dig at the MAGA gang for trying to disassociate themselves from being linked to Kirk's murder because they had nothing to do with it.
Yeah. The evidence is pretty clear. You know, I mean, it's obvious. When someone literally leaves notes and confesses and tells everybody and writes things on the shell casings, take them at their word, damn it.
Yeah. Kimmel also took a dig at President Donald Trump, implying that the manner in which the president grieved Kirk was not genuine. Okay. I don't.
Yeah. Well, because Jimmy Kimmel was real genuine.
You know what it's like? It's like you're like there's this kid in class who maybe you think you're bullying. You do everything to keep antagonizing the bully, and then if the bully strikes out, he's such a mean guy, and it's like, no, that's what they're constantly
Yeah.
They don't let up. Kimmel's monologue led to his show being preempted indefinitely. Although it came as a shock to the public, insiders claimed the comedian's career was already hanging by a thread. According to The Blast, sources reported that the network was already thinking about cutting ties with the 57-year-old TV host after the conclusion of the current season. They cited Kimmel's consistently brazen political remarks as reasons to terminate his contract with the network, as they often led to rifts with the president, which the network is trying to avoid. I think it's too... I mean...
Honestly, nobody even gives a crap about them anymore because they know that in a season he's going to be gone. We'll get to that in the last article.
Oh, we keep going. Okay. Let me see. Kimmel's suspension with a lot of widespread criticism from fans of high-profile figures who believe the act was a war against free speech. Speaking of the situation, former political director of ABC News, Marc Malnekoff, said the suspension was not simply a First Amendment courtroom battle, but about regulatory intimidation and corporate self-censorship, per The Blast. Companies are not punishing themselves before the government even acts, he says. What do you mean corporate self-censorship? Corporations can self-censor. They do it all the time. Yeah. I don't often agree with it either, but they have the right to do it.
Speech. Part of free speech is knowing what not to say and making that decision. That's called free speech. I'm free to not say something stupid.
The ex-ABC News veteran further stated that companies no longer wait for the hammer if they believe a regulator would cause more harm to their licenses, mergers, consent decrees, and the like. Well, if you're behaving badly, how does this make you look to a regulator?
Right.
Here we go. Another one. Disney hit with legal salvo. Let's go to the next one.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
To think we hadn't talked about Disney in a while.
Yeah.
Kimmel is just a punk in the schoolyard. Yes. Who keeps antagonizing people and then gets upset when they retaliate. Disney hit with legal salvo. Okay, a group of Disney shareholders is exercising its right to demand materials related to the company's decision last week to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's late night show, a precursor to the potential lawsuit. In a letter to Disney, the American Federation of Teachers and Reporters Without Borders said there's incredible basis to suspect that the board breached its fiduciary duty to investors by prioritizing improper political and affiliated considerations. The fallout from suspending Jimmy Kimmel Live sparked criticism as an attack on free speech, triggered boycotts and union support for Mr. Kimmel, and caused Disney stock to plummet amid fears of brand damage and concerns that Disney was complicit in succumbing to the government's overreach and media censorship, said the letter, first reported by Semaphore. The chain of events that led ABC pulling the show unfolded unusual fast, starting with a thinly veiled threat from the Federal Communications Commissioner, Brendan Carr, that his agency might take action against the network over accusations that the late-night host mischaracterized the politics of the man who allegedly killed Charlie Kirk. Well, he did do that! Within 5 hours, Nexstar, an owner of ABC affiliate stations around the country, said that it would preempt the show. Minutes later, ABC caved. The aftermath, which sparked national debates over censorship, saw cause to boycott Disney subscriptions and threats from talent indicating that they'd stop working with the studio until Kimmel was allowed to return. Last week, Disney's stock fell by over 2%, with its market value plummeting by nearly $4 billion. The shareholders are asked for board materials related to the suspension of Kimmel. They also seek communications with government officials, Nexstar, and Sinclair over the decision. Copies of Disney's deals addressing affiliate stations' right to preempt programming, policies regarding moderation of late-night programming, and information on the company's ability to obtain regulatory approval in other areas of its business. The purpose of so-called books and records demand is to investigate potential misconduct. Depending on what they uncover, the investors could file a shareholder lawsuit. So this is the impression I'm getting from this. These are the left-leaning investors attacking Disney on this?
So, yes, but what the ironic part of this is that Disney's getting piled on by both sides. They've got the people on the right that are pissed off about Jimmy Kimmel. They got the left that are pissed off that they would take Kimmel down. So everybody was boycotting Disney. They're literally realizing that by wading into these kinds of issues that they have no business being in. Remember a while back he said something about we need to cool down the politics. We got to get out of politics. But I don't think that any of this is a political. Well, okay, you can believe what you want. It absolutely is. and you're purposely polarizing people, and you are deciding on a side. And this is where I want to bring up what Jesse's saying, Troy. I don't view myself. I view myself as a centrist person stuck in the middle of two giant parties, wondering why they can't get things done without playing the blame game. I tried not to get involved in politics. However, when other things pop up like war, everyone has an opinion. Everyone needs to have an opinion. My problem with anyone who says, well, I'm a centrist, I don't want to do politics, I don't want to think about this stuff, can't we all just get along? No! That's not how human beings work. There are two sides in many of these arguments. Pick one. Or, you've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And that's exactly what Disney has done. They picked a side and they decided that they were going to push everybody out that didn't agree with them. And then when they go, well, gee, maybe we should moderate. Well, now this new modern audience that they garnered is turning on them because these are the people that you can't keep happy. And they're the violent ones that will shoot up your station because they are mad about what you did.
Honey, your blood pressure is probably through the roof right now. Calm down.
Well, it's more exercise than I get all week, so may as well. And Boomer's back. He just didn't want to hear me ranting anymore.
No, I think you broke the internet there. No, I think no.
Maybe.
Anyway, but my point is that look, Carr didn't like the fact, and this was, I think, his statement. I think he made the.
Oh, you're coming in and out, Boomer.
The fact that Kimmel.
You're roboting. We're not getting anything you're saying.
Lie about, especially in a very highly charged event. And the thing is, whenever you have what the politics of the killer is, but even in this case, I think we already knew what they were by the time he made that statement, and he still made it, and he kept trying to tie it to MAGA when MAGA had nothing, Trump's had nothing to do with this. And I'm just saying,
I know it's so obvious. It's so obvious what this is. On the one hand, you've got all these people, cheering for the fact that this kid got killed.
That was the most disturbing part of this, actually. Was
and you think that it's somebody on his side, someone that agrees with him that killed him? No. Really? How do you make that argument? I mean, please, Jimmy Kimmel, give us your wisdom and insight.
Okay.
How you think this was a MAGA-related guy.
The only way it could have been was if you had a quote-unquote nut on the quote-unquote far right that thought, oh, I'm going to stir things up by killing off a conservative political leader, making people think it was a leftist doing it. But that's not what happened.
That's clearly not what happened.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying that would be the only theory you could push on this.
He's dating a tranny, and living with him. He's rebelling against his religious family. It's like, come on, this kid is a leftist. Just like all the other.
He got corrupted too online too. He didn't turn out that way.
This is nothing new. Anyone paying attention sees it happening. They see it happening in our schools. They see it happening online. These people are being radicalized. And time again. And what happens? Charlie Kirk, they have a memorial for him. A bunch of people get together in a stadium and sing Kumbaya. Whereas George Floyd gets killed and people burn down the city and they march and they close off traffic. These people are not the same.
No,
okay?
I found it very bizarre. I didn't even bother with this, but I think Angelina Jolie or somebody was making a comment about the funeral thing. And anyone who watches that funeral, that there was nothing but an outpouring of love at that funeral. There's nothing negative in that funeral that I could tell. I don't know.
If you are projecting some sort of evil on them, you need to look in a mirror. Yeah. You really do. You really, really do. And then go back and look at your Summer of Love and George Floyd and, all the protests.
Hey, that's when I started streaming.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, wait, I meant to get rid of that. Okay, moving on to the next article.
Yeah, because it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it?
This one, like...
We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. Sinclair and next star cave, and they're like, okay, fine, don't shoot up our studios anymore. We'll let you we'll let you listen to your lefty propaganda.
But you said that you were going to do it because, one, his ratings suck, especially in these areas where they really don't appreciate his commentary, and isn't. And I don't know. I keep thinking that the guys running Sinclair next to, listen, man, you don't understand. We got a family. We got kids. It's like just cowards. Just nothing but cowards. I'm just done. All right, moving on. I don't. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to read the article. You're right. Let's move on. Forget it.
Wait a minute. A man has been shot with a starter pistol and beaten to death with a baton. Police believe it's race related. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, this one you don't even need to say much else about. They caved. But
yeah, his ratings are in the toilet because he sucks.
So
he's a terrible talk show host.
Comes back on and he's like, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Trump and whatnot for giving me the best ratings I've had in months. You know, blah, 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 blah. Sure. Everyone came back the one day that you came back just to see if you said anything. And then they disappeared.
You know what this means, too? The lesson Kimmel is going to take from this is, well, wait a minute. If I have to say controversial things and get people angry to get my ratings up, I have to keep doing that. So you know he's going to do something else stupid in the future. It's going to happen.
Very likely.
He's going to test the waters again. Because right now he said there was no consequence for my actions. Next star, Disney unsuspended me. I got this huge outpouring of love from Hollywood. Of course, his ratings are in the toilet, but he's not on the air for ratings at this point. This is not about making money. The show does not exist to make money.
No.
The staff that's getting paid.
Her show does not make as much money as his damn salary. They are literally losing money on every episode.
So why Disney are keeping him on the air? It's for other purposes. That's the only thing I can think of. He must be
exactly right, and they're getting their money from somewhere else. They're just because USAID was shut down doesn't mean there aren't still NGOs out there funneling money into them, saying no, you will keep this show on. You will keep pushing this message if you want this money.
Yeah. So Disney and ABC spent much of this week trying to trumpet the big Jimmy Kimmel return to late night television after the host spread misinformation about Charlie Kirk tragedy as a ratings comeback story. On paper, the numbers for his first night back look like a victory. Roughly 6.3 million viewers tuned in September 23rd, marking his strongest performance in over a decade. But the spike didn't last. By the very next night, viewership had plummeted to about 2.4 million, according to Nielsen ratings cited by Outkick. That represents 60-70% overnight collapse. Yeah, because people watch the show and they realize, wow, this guy really sucks.
Yeah.
They probably never heard of him before this controversy.
What happens is they tune into his show and they're like, I didn't hear a single thing that made me laugh. All it did was make me angry. Even the people that friggin' agree with him come away from it more angry than they started at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. In plain terms, most of the audience that tuned in to see what the fuss was about immediately vanished, leaving Kimmel right back in the rut he was before the suspension. Affiliates were never fully on board. It's also important to remember that Kimmel's return wasn't a full comeback to every home. Two of the nation's largest affiliate groups, including Nexstar, initially refused to air the program on their ABC stations. Yes, but they still caved. Today, those companies represent nearly a quarter of American households. Their stance was clear. They didn't want to broadcast a host who had alienated the viewers with hyper-partisan commentary, particularly after his remarks in the wake of Charlie Kirk's tragic death. You need to stop, not watching Kimmel, the people in these areas. Stop watching the channel, period.
Yeah.
Be done with it. ABC celebration of the first night numbers.
Well, honestly, I don't understand why anyone's watching terrestrial TV anymore anyway, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I don't.
You have so many other options. You have complete control over what you watch. You don't need to be watching network television.
Yeah. Only on September 26th, 3 days after return to both Sinclair and Nexstar fold and put the program back on the air. By then, the damage to Kimmel's ratings momentum had already been obvious. Disney spin versus reality. Disney, which owns ABC, is trying to frame Kimmel's return as a major cultural moment. The company has pointed to viral clips of his monologue circulating on YouTube and TikTok. Yes, when he did that crying. Remember that? You probably caught that. Yes.
The crying without any tears. Yeah.
But viral clips don't equal sustained ratings, and they certainly don't.
Never once said Charlie's name. By the way.
Well, Kimmel.
That poor man, that poor guy. Yeah, never.
They're treating
once said
Kimmel like the victim in all this.
Yeah.
I'm just. If anything, Disney's rise to social media metrics highlights just how fragile the situation really is. As a one-off bump in the online shares doesn't pay the bills in linear television, especially when affiliate groups were balking at even carrying the show. I don't understand Disney. I just don't.
Nate says, I can't remember the last time I watched terrestrial TV. Netter and I got rid of cable almost a decade ago. We have not been watching commercial television forever.
There are aspects of the entertainment industry I don't understand. I've been doing this for about 5 years now, and I still don't get Disney. Unless they're in league with whatever these organizations are that were threatening these affiliates. I just don't get it. I guess it's politics at the end of the day.
Yep. Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Moving on.
And them trying to move the cookies around on the plate to make them look like more, because he's trying to keep his job. It's exactly what you said. He's going to keep now saying ridiculous things that are going to actually probably start pushing the FCC to start getting involved. They haven't, despite what they've said, but eventually they're going to have to say, you know what? We're done. You're done. You cried about it long enough. Now we're actually going to do it.
Yeah. And Horking, my voice or my throat is a little bit better from Thursday. But now I also have a low-grade fever, so yay!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Netter. If you need to lie down or anything or whatever, feel free.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like I've been sleeping in Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Well, take care of yourself. All right.
Yeah, and I made more of my elixir, so.
Yeah, definitely do that. And some what do they call the
honey lemon stuff that she does. Yeah.
I was gonna say ice packs too for the forehead.
Oh yeah, true.
Xbox handhelds will be more expensive than you thought. No, they're about what I thought they'd be.
Yeah.
I don't understand anything. Gaming is for everyone, as Xbox marketing likes to remind us, and now includes people on the go. Well, people on the go with a lot of disposable income. On Thursday, Microsoft finally revealed that actually, anything left to say about the Kimmel situation? I'm sorry, we did.
No, I'm done with it.
I'm done. Okay, yes. Okay, so Xbox. Okay, gaming is for everyone. Okay, on Thursday, Microsoft finally revealed its official price.
Actually, I do want to make a note about the picture we're looking at right here. I don't know much about this Xbox handheld thing, but compared to the links we were just talking about at the top of the show, you see all those little thumbnail screens there? That's far and away beyond the 16-bit of the links. Just saying.
Well, yes, it's how many years later?
I know, we're living in the future.
Yeah, but it's not as bright as you think. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, the screens may have been smaller on the old systems. You used to be able to get a Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
For $99.99. That was the price. You get a portable game system. The games were $24.99 to $29.99. You got cartridges for it, and it was a 32-bit powerhouse that Nintendo made, and only $100. And the thing is, maybe your kid wants a Nintendo, but you don't want to buy him the big console. Get him portable. Plenty of Nintendo games on that. Geek Flag Netters, we all hope you'll feel better. So, thank you, Geek Flag.
Thank you, Nate. Super appreciate that.
All right. I started feeling poorly with the sore throat and everything after I visited the ear, nose, throat doctor, and now the sore throat has turned into this low-grade fever. So I don't know if maybe it's some sort of allergic reaction to the stuff they sprayed up my nose to numb it and all that.
Or it's just you go to the doctor's office where there's a bunch of sick people and you end up getting sick.
I'm sorry, that's happened to me. I go to the doctor's office, I come home with something, and it's happened on a couple occasions.
Yeah.
Once at an IHOP too, but maybe the less said about that, the better. Well, you know what's funny? I was at this one IHOP, and like I noticed at the table, like across from us, had all these plates stacked on it, and like, where's the busboy clearing these tables off?
Oh God.
Then suddenly, like a day later, I got this horrible stomach virus, like the kind where it's painful. And I don't know if I got it from being in the IHOP. Part of me wonders, is it maybe because they didn't bust the table and take all those plates with the germs off them all? Maybe that's why you're supposed to clean off those tables when people are done eating. Don't let the stuff fester there.
Just saying.
And then a week later, guess what happened? After I was sick, only time I went a few times I ever called out sick from work, and then suddenly, a week later, the pandemic happens.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, though, on Thursday, Microsoft finally revealed the official price points for its upcoming handheld devices. Xbox Ally and Xbox Ally X release October 16th. The base model, the ROG Xbox Ally, will cost $599.99. What do you think of that price?
How does that compare to the non-mobile version?
Oh, well, Xbox raised its prices, but maybe in the beginning it was around that price.
I guess I don't understand a mobile device being as much as your home console.
Neither do I.
It's friggin' ridiculous.
Now, the more advanced option, ROG Xbox Ally X, the Ally X, will cost $999.99.
So $1,000.
Give us all your cash now.
Yeah.
What are they thinking?
Oh! And I'll bet you it's not only $1,000, but I'll bet it's $1,000 they want now for something you'll get in 6 months.
Maybe. Well, if it sells out, I don't know who's going to be pre-ordering this thing. I know in the past that you used to worry about scalpers, but there's been a lot of speculation, some leaks about the price points, the most recent reports. I don't care about the most recent reports. That's not what ended up happening. For those for whom the money is no object, pre-sales are now open. The ROG Ally X is a Best Buy exclusive. I want to get an Ally X so I can find the people that only spent $599.99, $600 on their portable, and said, "You loser! I paid $1,000 for my portable."
Right.
This is insanity. As I told you, what did the Game Boy Advance cost? $99.99. And then Nintendo later on, they released the 3DS later on. It was actually too expensive and nobody bought it. And you know what Nintendo did? They lowered the price, apologized, and made a newer, cheaper model of it.
Clue makes a great question. Now I want to know the answer. Do the games depend on an internet connection?
Oh, that's a very good question. We don't know that. I'm wondering if this is an all Game Pass device. Part of me wondered, hey, Microsoft, can I take my physical Xbox One games that are supposed to be backwards compatible and just make a digital copy on here? And I expect Xbox to say, I know we're charging you $1,000, but the answer is no, you can't play the games you own. What about the digital games I own? No, this is not, I mean, is this an actual portable Xbox Series or is this something else? They're not clear on this. Is this its own infrastructure? Is it Game Pass where you're just playing the games off of Game Pass? Which is why I don't want any Game Boy Advance games. Keep in mind, I was asking my mom to get this for me for Christmas at the time because it was $99.90. Oh, you didn't get a Game Boy Advance for Christmas. I'm sorry, Horror King.
Yeah.
Well, don't expect Nintendo to release a classic version of the console because they're not about that anymore.
Right.
Everything sucks now.
It really
don't
does.
you think $1,000 for a portable gaming device is a bit up there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are gaming PCs this much? Maybe they're now more money as well, but I mean, I guess you could do more with the PC. I don't understand this. I guess this is to compete with Steam? The Steam Deck, maybe?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, anyway, you excited?
Not at all. I couldn't care less. This is not my not my circus, not my monkeys.
Hold on. Let's get into this.
Why?
Because you said I couldn't care less. It makes me crazy when people say
Yeah.
I could care less, because that means you do care some.
Well, and sometimes that might be what they mean. I care
could
very
care
little.
less, but I won't. I'll care enough.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Xbox co-developed the handhelds with Asus. Technically, these are Windows-based handheld PCs and not directly Xbox handhelds. They use Asus Rogue Allies with Xbox button and some other Xbox-specific features. What am I purchasing here?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
what
they're
is
not going
this?
to tell you. They're not going to tell you.
Is this Windows gaming and not Xbox gaming, but you're calling it Xbox? What is this? The ROG Xbox X Ally X will run Windows
It's
11.
a mystery box.
It runs Windows 11, a home on 7-inch display. The X has 1 terabyte of storage. Wow, you get a whole terabyte. And the base model has 512 gigabytes. I know you feel like you want to download your games, but you know, just download them one at a time. And you can beat them and then download another.
Yeah.
You don't need to own
In
them.
other words, they don't want you to own them. They want you to rent them.
It seems like things are more expensive and the quality is worse.
Yeah.
Than what we got back in the day.
Well, because it's like, you know what? You should just be thankful for whatever you get. You shut up and enjoy it. Get out of my face.
Don't worry, Boomer, I got you covered. Xbox, thank you, Geek Flag. I'm assuming that was you. Troy, these new gaming consoles have gone up in price so many times. By the time Cyber Week comes, they're going to be at the same price. And whenever they come out, the company's not losing $1. You know, it's funny. I don't know if I had sent this to Troy, but there was another article. We're not going to cover it, but apparently Costco has basically just said this to the Xbox Series. No, we're not putting you on shelves anymore because you're not selling. I think the retailers at some point have to push back on this.
You'd think.
Because the customers aren't buying the stuff, and the retailers, I mean, come on, you're taking up store shelf place that could be taken up by stuff that actually sells on the store shelves.
Right.
What's in the box? Windows 11. You like Windows 11? Let's go to the next article.
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Yes. It's funny. I was watching the Classic Game Room TV channel, and they were talking about the game Pac-Man World. And they made a riff on like the cutscene where like they kidnap Miss Pac-Man, and then like there's a box laying outside for Pac-Man, and someone's screaming, "What's in the box, Pac-Man?" Like they redid the cutscene, like whoever had cut off Miss Pac-Man's head, which would be a trick because it's all she is a
She
head.
has no real body, exactly.
Yes. So anyway, Devin Pritchard to succeed Doug Bowser as Nintendo of America president, female president of Nintendo of America. This is interesting. Or a woman, I should say. I should stop using that word. Anyway, Doug Bowser, the longtime president.
Yeah, we don't know how she identifies.
I'm not willing to throw her into a bus just yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
But I don't know. And to be fair, Doug Bowser, I had trepidations about him, but again, I don't know what he was involved with on the Nintendo side of things. Who's making these horrible decisions? Was it Doug Bowser? I know that Nintendo of America can influence decisions to Japan, but ultimately Japan makes the calls.
Yeah.
Doug Bowser, the longtime president and chief operating officer of Nintendo of America, announced retirement this Thursday. He will be succeeded by Devin Pritchard, the company's executive vice president of revenue, marketing, and consumer experience after his retirement on December 31st, 2025. Another senior member of Nintendo's chief leadership, Satoru Shibata, will join the company's American operations as chief executive officer. Nintendo appreciated Bowser's contributions and praised his role in delivering on the promise of Nintendo Switch system to change the way people play video games, as per the website Game Developer. I thought Reggie Fils-Aimé was there for the Switch being launched and succeeding before he retired. But anyway,
you would know better than I would.
Because I remember because at that point they were releasing a Diablo 3 version of the Switch, and the head of Activision called up Reggie Fils-Aimé, and it was all weird and spooky, like the lights weren't working at Nintendo of America. And Reggie, you would have liked Reggie. He was good people. But anyway. In a statement, Bowser said, "Leading Nintendo America has been the honor of a lifetime, and I am proud of what our team has accomplished in both business results and the experiences we've created for consumers," the publication reported. I hate the word consumer, by the way. I wish we would go back to the word customer. Ruby Hoof. Thank you, Ruby.
She came back. Thank you, Ruby Hoof. She comes and drops a gifty on us, and that went to the Horror Cat Dad. So now you're a member on both of our channels. So thank you.
Well, be sure to check out.
Yeah.
Tune in tomorrow night on Troy's channel. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's
yeah. Membership.
So actually, the Horror Cat Dad literally got gifted a membership by Ruby Hoof to both of our channels tonight. How wild is that?
So, who is Devin Pritchard? This is the succession. Devin Pritchard, currently executive vice president of revenue, marketing.
She used to work for Taco Bell, right? I'm sorry.
Don't joke. You never know.
Right.
I mean, the
Right.
guy that got hired at what was it, IBM or Apple, worked for Pepsi, didn't he? So I mean,
Yeah.
that was the thing. Okay, Devin Pritchard, currently the executive vice president of revenue marketing and consumer experience at Nintendo America, has been with the company for more than 19 years. She holds a bachelor's degree from Kansas State University and a doctor of law degree from Gonzaga University School of Law. In her statement, she expressed gratitude for Bowser's mentorship. Doug has been a fantastic mentor, and I look forward to building on the incredible foundation he has helped establish. In addition to her new role, Pritchard will join Nintendo America's board of directors and its global executive officer team. So I have no idea. I hope her what she brings to the table is not give me all your cash now, customer. Okay, but we'll see. I have nothing to say about this because I don't know if she'll be good or bad for the company. I just don't know.
We're just letting you know about it. And when she starts, making dumb lefty decisions, we'll rip her apart later on.
We don't know what her politics are. Anyway.
But she will almost certainly make them very clear in very short order.
I was talking to you about this on the
this is and we say this every time we have a Tron or a Dune article. Nerd Cookies is absolutely the best site for lore and information and the latest news on this stuff, and I'm pretty much very much in agreement with her. We've given up hope on this Tron Ares. We thought that it was going to be good. There was some clues that maybe they were going to do.
The
some
trailer
things.
looked promising. The teaser, at least, yeah.
They completely lost us. They are going to Last Jedi Tron. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, it's not in this article, but apparently Sam Flynn led the company to ruin. That's what it's looking like. And instead of taking it over and fulfilling his father's legacy, hence the title Tron Legacy. I'm just saying.
And who is it that saved the company? Some random young woman
boss.
Yeah, some girl boss that we don't know about or care about.
Kevin Flynn's video game and made it into a live service game. This is what I've heard from Nerd Cookies. We'll know the final thing when the movie comes out in a couple of weeks.
No, we won't, because I won't be watching it.
But there'll be reviews, and this tracks. I'll say what she said tracks. That's why I'm paying it mind.
Well, what we found out,
sounds like the Disney Handbook.
Here, none of the previous legacy characters except Jeff Bridges is coming back. Why they're even bothering to bring Jeff Bridges back, I don't know. He was supposed to have died in the last movie. He was the one character they could have gotten away with and said,
not bring him back because it was up in the air if he survived that or not. I mean, if he had died, he died. I mean,
they could have decided he died. They could have said, he didn't. He's gone. He's gone.
He made a sacrifice for his son and for Cora.
Exactly. Exactly. But that sacrifice is pointless because they're bringing him back, and his kid and Cora are whatever. They probably got, that we last saw them taking off on a bike down the road. They were in an accident. They're dead.
Yeah, they got hit by a Mack truck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like Ryan Johnson gets a writing credit for that. Okay, so Tron Ares is about to give us the first.
They just subverted your expectations.
Yeah, Tron Ares is about to give us the first installment of the sci-fi franchise for 15 years. Jared Leto as a humanoid AI, and much more besides the movie. But the movie won't be giving us any surprise legacy cameos. Jeff Bridges is the only Tron actor reprising his role for the threequel, making a return as Kevin Flynn, which means there's no comeback for the characters like Garrett Hedlund, Sam Flynn, and Cillian Murphy's Dillinger Jr. There's a reason for that, though, although the team behind the movie is slightly different from what it is. This is a quote, "These things are not only creative choices. Sometimes actors don't want to be in it anymore," director Joaquin Ronin says.
Yeah, and oftentimes they don't want to be in it because they read the script, you effer.
Yeah, did you ask them?
Yeah.
And you know what else you can do? I'm sorry, you can always recast. It's been a number of years later. Just recast. It's okay. You can do that. I didn't realize that Dillinger Jr. wasn't going to be in this. I thought the actor they had playing the Dillinger character was they just picked a different actor to play him. Not realize, oh no, this is a different member of the Dillinger family in this movie. This is so stupid. There are different ways.
And here's the other thing. Why are they calling it Tron Ares? There is no Tron in it. They should have just friggin' called it Ares.
Again, originally I thought this might have been like a spin-off movie, which, again, I'm not sure why we're getting a spin-off movie when what we need is a direct sequel, but because it's not like they're spending less money on this, then they would have
I
had a
will
full
not
sequel.
be seeing this movie.
So there are different ways of looking at that, but I think the story fell into place where we felt we didn't need the old characters to be front and center. We wanted to take this into a new direction while at the same time honoring the universe that we're in. They're not old characters; they were brand new, introduced. I mean, I know it's been 15 years now, but they weren't old. They were.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde's still alive. The actor played Sam Flynn's on Tulsa King right now. They couldn't have gotten him back. I mean, I'm just. The movie's titular Ares is Leto's character, super talent, artificial intelligence program brought to the digital world. I don't care. We're telling the story that is 14 years later, and the most important thing is that we tell this new story in a way that works. As producer Justin Springer, to just throw cameos in where it's a parade of people that we love from this franchise. I just feel like it's fan service, and that doesn't serve the story. But we're definitely focused on ways to surprise the audience.
Heaven forbid we should serve the audience. What they actually want. No, they're going to take what we give them and they're going to like it. Welcome, Robert's Infinite Realms. He says the more I find out, the more disappointed it sounds. I'm beyond that. There is no longer anything that is going to get me to go see this movie. I will not be seeing it. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. It's Disney. Why did I want to think differently? You know why I thought differently?
Take care, buddy. Thanks for stopping in.
It was like with Willow. Like, people think, oh, Willow, are they going to make it all cringy and stuff? Well, can they really afford to do that? Because Willow kind of needs to build an audience, because it had the one movie, but even that was like let's be honest, if best it had a cult following. It was not a huge hit when it came out. So, like, you really have to bring your A game to revitalize something like Willow. And instead, they did the exact opposite. And the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
Well, no, and the same goes for Tron, though, because they took too long to make this sequel. Now they kind of have to build a new audience again.
Yeah, and what's the point of doing a sequel if you're not, building on what you did before? It's just absolutely
You can still
ridiculous.
bring those actors back and those characters back, though, and introduce the new audience to them. It's fine. It's
Yeah. Michael Keaton famously said that when they asked him why he didn't do Batman 3, he answered, I read the script. It wasn't very good. Yeah, this is what people forget. There's two things that brings an actor to do a project. One is the money, and they're lying if they say that's not true. The other is, how am I going to look if I do this movie? Is it going to make me look like a fool, or is it going to make me look, good to my fans? And the fans of the first two movies, let's face it, we saw that third movie and we're like,
I wanted Tron 3. I wanted Dillinger Jr. versus Sam Flynn, and the hinted return of the Master Control Program. That was supposed to be Tron 3.
Mm-hmm.
The layout was alright, and Cora was supposed to be doing some very interesting things in the real world because, of course, she was an ISO that was not, brought into the real world. So I don't know if she was going to have superpowers or something. And, and I feel like everyone's been replaced. So Sam Flynn's been replaced with this new girl boss character that saved the company. Dylan Jr. has been replaced by his nephew now.
I actually had this
Tron's
idea.
Been replaced with Jared Leto, and Cora's been replaced by Athena, whoever that other character is now.
I had this idea that Cora was going to be, she was going to kind of be a girl boss in that, she probably was like super computer girl and stuff, but then have that that wide-eyed wonder about the world, which could have been really cute, and then play that off of Flynn's, the relationship between them, and I don't know. It could have been a really, really good story, but you know what? Screw them. I don't care. This isn't my Tron. Good luck with your new audience that doesn't exist, just like every other franchise that's been killed.
And your lead actor has trouble in the media too.
Exactly.
I'm over it. Let's move on to Paramount.
I know, right?
He's still my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she's not bad looking. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, but get rid of her. Get rid of all of them.
I know. Paramount's international chief Pam Kaufman to exit after Skydance takeover. Hi all. After much thought and reflection, I made the difficult decision to leave Paramount. We have had the extraordinary journey of the immense privilege of helping shape the stories that touched the millions we brought to iconic characters like. Is that all that's here? Is her letter? Was there an article with this?
I don't know, but you know what? That's a primary source. I think that's good enough. What else do you need to know other than what she had to say about leaving and the fact that she's leaving? We're seeing turnover at Paramount because of the Skydance takeover. That's the headline here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. Okay. Goodbye. I mean, you have anything? I know I could read the whole letter if you'd want.
No. We don't need to say anything else.
I think I'm past. Oh, here we go. What is this? Lionsgate.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about
Lionsgate
AI
is struggling.
in general.
Yeah. Lionsgate is struggling to make AI-generated films with Runway. Last year, the AI video company Runway joined forces with major Hollywood studio Lionsgate in a partnership the pair hoped would result in AI-generated scenes and even potentially full-length movies, but the project has hit a snag. According to the report by The Wrap, the past 12 months have been unproductive. Lionsgate distributes Hollywood blockbusters including The Hunger Games, John Wick, The Twilight Saga, and Saw franchises. But despite its huge catalog, it simply is not enough for the AI to produce quality content. The Lionsgate catalog is too small to create a model, a source tells The Wrap. In fact, Disney catalog is too small to create a model. Despite Runway being one of the leading names in AI video, the technology needs copious amounts of data to produce AI-generated films.
Mm-hmm.
If the reason AI has proven to be an unpopular technology, the AI firms help themselves to any type of media they can get their hands on, whether there's copyright protections or not. Another issue is that the rights of the actors and the models for remuneration of their likeness appears in AI-generated clip if it's a legal gray area with no clear path. In the movie and television industry, each production will now have a variety of interested rights holders. An attorney tells The Wraps now that there's tech where you can create AI video of an actor saying something they did not say. That kind of right gets very thorny. The limitations, despite the huge hype that has surrounded AI for the past couple of years, the technology still falls short of what investors and proponents would like, leading to fears of a bubble. And using a relatively narrow set such as the Lionsgate back catalog simply isn't enough. Adobe, for example, leverages multiple different models for its Firefly model. Most recently announced that it had added Luma's A1 Ray 3 video model to go with models from Google and OpenAI. So they're basically saying that they want the AI to create movies for them, but there aren't enough movies for the AI to learn from to make this possible, or at least that it can legally get its hands on.
I guess.
It's saying "feed me," and they're not feeding it.
Yeah,
you think I'm joking? It's probably literally saying "feed me Seymour." Oh
yeah.
my goodness! Even AI videos like Google's much vaunted VO3 still has the drawbacks, and that is strained from the entire YouTube library. Interesting. So the Google's VO2 was trained from the entire YouTube library.
Good. Maybe some of my rants will come through in some of their movies.
What are you gonna do if there's like a AI Troy out there sometime, huh?
God,
he's gonna pop on camera,
telling
you to eat babies. That. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Did I say eat baby back ribs? I meant eat babies. Okay, Disney.
Get in my belly.
Oh yeah, that was a funny bit in that. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but there were still some funny things with Austin Powers. Even in part 3, my favorite part in part 3 was Goldmember. I'm from Holland. Remember when he kept saying that?
Yeah.
Okay, Disney pockets $2.2 billion for filming outside America.
This one is actually a little bit funny when you actually read between the lines on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Jessica Carter says it didn't make much sense. It's too much. They couldn't say Disney. I don't know. That's what they were saying in the article. There's not enough in the Disney catalog, which is odd since Disney owns half of everything. But anyway, Disney pockets $2.2 billion for filming outside America. Disney has been handed $2.2 billion by the government of the United Kingdom over the past 15 years in return for filming movies and streaming shows on its country in the country, according to analysis of more than 400 company filings. Disney is believed to have the biggest Disney is believed to be the biggest single beneficiary of the audiovisual expenditure credit in the UK, which gives studios cash reimbursement of up to 25.5% of the money they spend there. This general fiscal incentives have attracted all kinds of major Hollywood studios to the United Kingdom, and the country has reeled in the returns from it.
So let me pause real quick to let's kind of think about what that business model looks like.
Sure.
There is the upside to this ridiculous tax credit that they get as an incentive for filming in the UK, right? But in addition, they're also spending less on everything. It is cheaper for them to fly everybody out to the UK, board them, pay for food, all the stuff that you do, have the sets built and pay people to do things there, than it is to keep everything right here in California. What does that tell you?
It tells me that we need to start putting incentives for people to start shooting in the United States.
Yes, that means if you want to keep Hollywood in friggin' Hollywood, California, new scum, maybe you should get your head out of your ass and start thinking a little bit. Use the thinky bits between your ears. Anyway.
I mean, the UK's doing all right, I guess, by this, aren't they?
Well, they've got other problems, but yeah, I suppose they do benefit in this regard. And that's why you do it, right? You want people spending money in your cities, in your country, so you give them tax benefits and you say, we won't tax you so much if you'll stay here and spend money. Because you get tax dollars from that, right? No. California wants to tax you on the taxes and charge you a multiple fee. Anyway, so my point being that I'm certainly not faulting the UK for this, but the other thing that I'm saying is that 2.2 billion. That's the bottom line of this article, right? Oh, they got $2.2 billion. That sounds like a lot of money. When you consider that all the movies that Disney has made over in the UK have lost money, even having saved money, spending, what they did in the UK. They were able to make the movies for less. They got this $2.2 billion that they could just put in their pocket. They still end up losing money because the movies didn't make that much at the theaters. Nobody cared about them. And of course, the streaming model too. So this is a money waster, a money loser. So they're trying to pivot this and say, look at this money that's the thanks for playing medal. The UK government gives Hollywood studios vouchers for food and board, so actors don't even have to spend money on their own hotel and meals. Yeah. So why would you make a movie in California? That element I don't blame Disney for. That makes perfect sense. Exactly right. Welcome back, Boomer.
I have no idea what's going on today. Anyway.
No, but your timing is perfect because you drop out just as I'm getting into the middle of a rant, and you come back in right after a rant. I don't think
I'll have
that's
to listen to it later.
You're doing it on purpose. Yeah.
The point is, though, we need to be making incentives for people to start shooting things over here.
Yeah.
Because, and let's be honest with you, when I think of the UK, I don't think of... the UK just knows good business, Hollywood over there. I wouldn't exactly call them...
Give us more money please, Disney, give us more money and spend more money here in our country so that we can give it to the BBC to put out the propaganda we want to put out. And it's simpatico, neo-Marxist, circle jerk.
I don't even know what the BBC puts out anymore. All right, anything left to say on this? I just thought it was interesting.
I wore myself out on that one, too.
Christopher Nolan elected president of the Directors Guild of America. Well, that makes sense. He's like the top director. Christopher Nolan has been elected president of the Directors Guild of America, taking over the reins from as the union prepares for upcoming negotiations with the major studios. Nolan, an Oscar winner and one of the most successful hummers of his generation, succeeds Leslie Link Glatter, who served 2 terms at the helm and was first elected in 2021. I don't know who that is. He has been active in the DGA for some time and at present is a member of the National Board of Directors. To be elected president of the Directors Guild of America is one of the greatest honors of my career, Nolan said. Our industry is experiencing tremendous change, and I thank the Guild's membership for entrusting me with this responsibility. I also want to thank President Glattner for her leadership over the past 4 years. I look forward to collaborating with her and the newly elected board to achieve important creative and economic protections for our members. I'm in support of this. I can't think of a better director, better professional to pick to be in charge of this.
He's
so
good.
We'll see.
He's really good. I think he deserves it. That's wonderful, and good luck to him.
Yeah, and please get Hollywood back on track.
Please, yeah.
Please. You can't get The View back on track. That's another ABC show, isn't it? The View.
Yes, it is.
Of course it is. So, congratulations to Christopher Nolan.
And everything Disney touches turns to shit. So yes.
Well, not that this is Disney, sort of. It's the
it is. Well, it's a Marvel.
It's Sony.
Marvel adjacent.
I guess it's Marvel adjacent. Tom Holland suffers concussion on Spider-Man Brand New Day set. I'm really not liking that title.
No.
They better. This is the one time where they really should deviate from the source material, right?
Exactly right. Yes.
Filming is halted on Spider-Man Brand New Day after Tom Holland was treated for a mild concussion amid filming on the Pinewood, UK set of the Sony and Marvel Studios movie. Deadline can confirm filming was suspended Friday after the actor was taken to the hospital, was examined but not admitted. Sources close to the production said he will take a break out of precaution, but expected to return to filming in a few days. I don't know.
These things happen. He got his bell rung. It doesn't sound like he was hurt horribly bad. Concussion is not good, let's be honest, but he does a lot of his own stunts, and these things do happen. I predict this is going to change how he thinks about this role going forward, if he's even going to continue in this role much longer.
But I assume he was hired. One, he does look young. I think the idea was they wanted a Peter Parker that could last for a long time.
Yeah. They were looking for the modern day Michael J. Fox is what and that's basically what they got.
Yeah. Pinewood UK set. UK again. They're shooting in the UK.
Well, but for him that's home, so it kind of makes sense for him.
The outlet also reported that he since attended a charity event this week with co-star and fiancée Zendaya. Is Zendaya in the sequel?
I don't know, but he's married to her, so I mean, it's not like
okay.
No,
but I just got the impression how they left the last movie that maybe they were done, because he had to, by having to fix things, he had to wipe out his,
I don't know. I haven't seen the last two Spider-Man movies.
I believe it or not, the Spider-Man movies, the new ones, I don't mind them. In fact, I like I called it the Spider-Man reunion special. That was the last one.
Yeah. And, I did hear good things about that. Yeah.
And even Far From Home, I liked what they did with Mysterio. I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's odd how they had Jake Gyllenhaal playing Mysterio because, as you know, it was rumored a while ago that I think after. Who was the first fight? Tobey Maguire. He got into an accident. How they were like, I think Kristen Dunst was dating Jake Gyllenhaal at the time. You could always cast Jake Gyllenhaal as Spider-Man. She was almost hinting that to the producers back in the day. And so I almost wondered that Jake Gyllenhaal was almost a consideration for Spider-Man. So it was odd seeing him play these.
That is kind of neat little behind the scenes kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But before filming began in Scotland last month, Holland said he's over the moon and is so excited to film on location for Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021, shot entirely in sound stages amid the COVID pandemic. Oh, interesting. They did that all on sound stages, No Way Home. Interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we're really going to lean into the old school filmmaking, shooting real locations, which is why we're starting in Glasgow. And we're going to use the streets of Glasgow to build this massive set piece that we're putting together, Holland detailed. So it's going to feel like it's making 2017 Spider-Man 1 again. It's been such a long time since I've done it. It's going to feel like a breath of fresh air. Yeah, because it'll be fresh air.
Yeah, and then you end up getting hurt doing it, so you're kind of wishing you were in a safer environment. But
fans are going to be over the moon. I'm not happy about the Hulk being in this one though.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. That's the other thing too. I'm done. I'm done with all of this. Mark Ruffalo's in it. I'm done. I'm not watching it.
I would have
don't
been on
care.
board with Daredevil, the Charlie Cox Daredevil. I wanted to see him in a Spider-Man movie. I thought that would have been a cool team up.
Yeah.
I was sort of waiting for that. I thought that's why they were bringing Daredevil back, and they even had him do he had a cameo in No Way Home because Matt Murdock shows up. I'll be your defense attorney for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
I think someone throws something at Peter Parker or whatever, and then Matt Murdock catches and says, "Wow, you have good reflexes, even though you're blind." It was like it was a neat little cameo by Daredevil. Yeah,
this is a missed opportunity because there have been some really great legal stories set in Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it was She-Hulk or whether it was Matt Murdock as the attorney. There was a great one where Peter Parker as Spider-Man, he was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Was being brought up on I can't remember if it was a civil suit or whatnot, but he was in a legal case against J. Jonah Jameson. Yep. And in the court case, he's like, "Why is it you hate me?" And this is in front of the whole court. Is it because I'm black? And Jonah's like, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
That is funny. Okay, yeah. All right, move on. That's right, because you don't know. Think about it. You don't know what color Spider-Man is.
You have no idea. Well, that's part of the idea behind it, right? And that's what people have been saying for a long time. Why so many people have liked Spider-Man. Even Stan Lee himself said that about this. The idea behind Spider-Man is he could be anyone. You know, and we all know it's Peter Parker. We see his life and whatnot. But the average person doesn't know who Spider-Man is. He could literally be anyone.
There was that wonderful scene in Spider-Man 2 with the when he stops the train and everybody sees what he looks like.
Oh yeah,
they were completely shocked, the audience, because they probably had all these visions of who Spider-Man was put up there, and they're like, "Wow, he's just a kid."
He's just a kid. Someone said, "Yeah," and then they hand him back his mask, and he's got this scared look on his face, and they're like, "Don't worry, man. No one here is going to say anything.
We've made a pact. We will not tell anybody who you are."
Yeah,
all here today. Yes, and I appreciated that. And I think people would rise up to the occasion. I know sometimes we've seen some of the ugliest in the human spirit in recent weeks, but I think there's still a lot of good out there too. So yeah,
I'd like to believe that.
Speaking of
and I'd like to see something good come back. Maybe.
Yes.
It's funny because the timing on this is just perfect, because I literally today I'm working on a script for a video I'm doing, and I was grabbing a hold of some B-roll, and I literally needed to get some footage of Toys R Us specifically from 1978.
Oh.
Yeah. But here you go.
There we go. Toys R Us has big plans for a comeback, announcing that it will more than double the number of standalone stores open in the U.S. The iconic toy retailer last week announced its plan to open 10 new flagship stores and 20 seasonal holiday shops with its partner Go Retail Group by the end of 2025. Once a staple in American malls, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy in 2017, essentially wiping its nationwide presence as a beloved toy retailer. Since then, the company was liquidated and sold to private equity firm WHP Global in 2021, which started opening new flagship locations across the country last year. Toys R Us operates a handful of standalone stores, including in New Jersey's American Dream Mall and the Mall of America, Minnesota. The chain currently reaches American customers through its website and by selling toys inside Macy's locations across the country. Go Retail Group website has even 7 locations listed where stores will be coming soon. New locations include Emeryville, California, Carmelo, California, Long Beach, California, Thornton, Colorado, Omaha, Nebraska, Hanover, Maryland, and West Des Moines, Iowa. Hey!
They're getting
How
closer.
far is that from you?
About 8-hour drive.
Forget it.
It's not well, no, that did get me though to kind of go and check out their website, which is incredibly. There's a lot more here than there was. This was what I said when they went out of business. One of the biggest problems with Toys R Us was that I would go into Toys R Us, I didn't find what I was looking for, so I would go to the manager or whatever and say, "Hey, is this something you can order? Can you tell me if it's at another store?" "No, I'm sorry, we can't do that." "Really?" You can't like go online and go to your. No, we don't have an online.
They didn't have the
store.
setup yet. The people.
And
in
I'm
charge
like,
of it
you are going to go out of business. And sure enough, they frickin' did.
Well, you feel bad for the clerk because the clerk knows too. You know, if the clerk knows we need these things. You probably were not the first customer to tell them that too, and it's ridiculous that in the age of that, I think retailers really weren't prepared for the internet. They just weren't.
Well, and
some were.
fine.
Walmart obviously was. They're
You
still
don't
around.
have to be ahead of the curve. You just got to pay attention to the fact that there is a damn curve. You know, because by the time you know you're going out of business, you're going, where's all of our business gone? Well, they're all buying stuff from Amazon, you dumbass. Where have you been for the past decade? You know.
Yeah. I love Toys R Us, but I'm sorry the time has come and gone. Kids aren't playing with toys anymore. They will be out of business in 2 years or less. I'm not as cynical as that. We'll see. Keep in mind, there's always a new generation coming up, Geek Flag. Now, maybe the Zoomers, maybe the young kids, when they see the store and are brought into it, it will spark their imagination again. Or maybe they won't care and they'll be on their iPad. I don't know.
There is
okay.
that, but I'm also going to agree with him on this because the fact is that a lot of the bigger companies like Hasbro are making, and Mattel are making stupid decisions to make toys for us, for the 50, 40-year-old people that want nostalgia, right? So they're making these expensive, HasLab projects and all this kind of pre-order, hundreds of dollars, big toys that people are buying. Well, your market is going to be dead in the next decade or two. And if you didn't bring kids in so that they will have nostalgia 30, 40 years from now, where's your toy sales going to be?
Toys
Think
R Us.
about the future, right? That's what the Joker said.
They were my favorite store to buy video games at. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
I like buying video games.
And everybody of our generation. I mean, even Jesse was saying it in the chat here. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. We all, especially at Christmas time, those commercials. Let me tell you.
And before that, it was the Lego aisle. They used to have a Lego aisle that I would peruse and look at the nice, big, expensive sets, and I'm like, oh darn it, because
because Toys R Us was accessible to all the children. Yep. The only other one that was out there was FAO Schwartz, but unless you were friggin' rich, you weren't going to FAO Schwartz.
And I've only seen those in a few locations too. They weren't like Toys R Us. They were like
I only saw them in movies like Big.
Yes, that's right, Big. But I remember going to Toys R Us and I know we've already done the good old days on Toys R Us. I think here's
exactly.
I really do miss it though.
Let's hope they and obviously there's going to be different people owning them. I don't care. They should really tie into that nostalgia. This is where you go after the nostalgia. That in the toy company. Get the old rerun. Whoops, sorry, got ahead of myself there. Get the old commercials out. And they used to do this a lot when they go for a nostalgia. They do an old commercial, like they're starting to play an old commercial, and then they would morph into a modern version of it. Yeah. Or like the kids, and maybe they've grown up, and then you see, the next generation of kids.
Exactly.
That's marketing, guys.
They'd play the old song, and then it would modernize, and the new kids. You download video games now. Yeah, that's part of the problem too. I know they keep pushing us to the.
That's true. And Clue Studio says, I like this ruthless Troy. Yes, I have nothing to do with Ruth. She's out of here. Anyway. So yeah.
Now I want a Baby Ruth.
Oh yeah. It's that time of year, right? Baby Ruth and Butterfinger.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, let's get to it.
That was my segue. Okay.
That was a great pivot. Hershey, this one I sent this to Boomer early in the week. I said, this has to be our last article because this is funny. I got a lot of mileage out of this. Hershey's beats lawsuit claiming Reese's Halloween candies aren't spooky. I love that.
Yeah. So this is from Hershey. Defeated a lawsuit claiming it misled consumers who were disappointed the Halloween-themed Reese's peanut butter candies they bought lacked the decorative details shown on the labels. U.S. District Judge Melissa Damian ruled on Friday that the plaintiffs did not show they suffered economic harm because their pumpkin-shaped candies, which look like contain artistic carvings of triangular eyes and crooked mouths, were blank. Yes, I've believe it or not, I've complained about that too. That's not how it looks on the package.
Yeah.
Okay. The May, then I eat it anyway. But anyway, the May 2024 lawsuit challenged the lack of details on 9 Reese's products, including a bat-shaped candy missing eyes, a ghost-shaped candy missing eyes and a mouth, and a football-shaped candy that resembles an egg because it had no stitch. Really? Really?
Yeah.
This was brought to court. Damien also had said the subjective belief that the plaintiffs that they overpaid did not support their claims and give them standing to sue. No, they're not charging more for this than they would any other kind of Reese's. It's just for fun. Put
Yeah.
simply, plaintiffs did not allegate the products were unfit for consumption, did not taste as the plaintiffs or otherwise were so flawed to render them worthless. The AMA-based design wrote. Plus, if you want to make your own designs, feel free. If you want to carve out eyes in the mouth,
right.
Go ahead. The proposed class action by Florida residents. Oh, here we go. Florida man. Nathan Vittle and Eduardo Granado sought at least $5 million in damages. Damien said they may seek to file an amended complaint. Are you joking?
No, this is a real article. In fact, Clue Studio is asking, is this a real story or is this Babylon B? No, this is a real story. This is a real lawsuit. Now, admittedly, it basically got thrown out. The court was like, are you serious? At least sometimes.
You know what would happen if the Reese's did start carving the faces, and then there'd be people complaining about the consistency of the faces. And
I know, yeah.
Because another problem is that I like getting Little Debbie pumpkin delights each year, and on the box they're smiley pumpkins.
I remember those.
Yeah, they still sell them if you look around in stores.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, they don't always look like perfect faces like they do on the box, and that's okay because they still taste.
Honestly, I don't remember them ever looking perfect. I mean, it's not like suddenly. No. The nostalgia comes from. Okay, the box. Yeah, it looks like. Does it look like? No, not really. What does it taste like? Yeah, this is that I had as a kid. I remember this. Yeah.
Look, they didn't even used to do Halloween-shaped things. Will you chill out? Seeking dismissal.
Actually, it's funny because this actual thing that you're showing is very much what someone would normally have gotten back in the day.
Yes.
You get all these little fun-sized candies.
Yes.
They weren't Halloween themed. They were just, an assortment pack so that you could have a whole bunch of different kinds of candies.
You know what I'm waiting for, though? I'm waiting for someone to open up the football and someone to open up the Easter egg and said, "This is the same thing." Well, they have.
I'll tell you what. If I was a candy company, that's exactly what I would do. I would have it chocolate for football season, and then I would use white chocolate for Easter.
They've
Boom,
done that. Yeah. Anyway. Hershey, Pennsylvania company also said the plaintiffs in the end got what they paid for: delicious Reese's candy. Yes, why are you complaining? You got the candy. And you know what? If your complaint is that, these confectionery candies, they don't look like they are on the wrapping, this is maybe your answer to become an entrepreneur and start your own candy company, okay?
Exactly.
There you go.
Right. And Tree Rock Creation says, does that package of candy cost $10? Halloween is too expensive now. Yeah, the chocolates have gotten very, very expensive. Now, what people don't realize, and this is something that we mentioned about a year ago, there's a blight that has been hitting the tropics that is killing off a lot of the cocoa production in South America.
That's
South
why
and
the
Central
chocolate's
America.
gone up. Okay, I was wondering.
Most of the chocolate now is coming from just a few small countries in Africa now, and so that's why it's so expensive.
If you want to get like Jolly Ranchers and Swedish Fish and Sour Patch Kids, those are still more reasonably priced. You can
but again, this is another situation. Do you know that there's all different kinds of cocoa beans out there that they could be making chocolate from, but they just keep using the same ones over and over and over again? This is the same problem they had nearly 100 years ago with bananas, where the certain kind of bananas that everyone was getting got completely wiped out, and they had to switch to a
Are
different
they
kind
afraid
of
it would
banana.
alter the taste of the chocolate? And then people will say they changed the taste of the chocolate. I'm not buying this anymore. Or could they use it maybe for a new type of chocolate that they're selling?
I would start making a new kind of chocolate. In fact,
Right.
there is one variety of cocoa bean that is not brown. It is more of a reddish color, natural reddish color. Why they're not cultivating and making more of that, I have no
I'd
idea.
eat red chocolate. That'd be cool.
And it's red chocolate that's not like dyed red. It's naturally red.
There you
So,
go. I
don't
would
know,
buy
guys.
that.
I don't know, guys. But yeah, there's actually a whole bunch of different varieties out there. I don't know.
What if you have a golden ticket? Well, I don't know.
See, that was the thing that I used to. What was it? It was the Hershey Special Dark. So every other candy bar that Hershey's made, whether it was Mr. Good bar or the regular Hershey bar or whatever, had a silver foil, but the Special Dark had a gold wrapper. And I always imagined that it was the gold ticket from Willy Wonka.
Me too.
See, we think alike. That's scary, actually.
I'm a big fan. I always liked Hershey Special Dark. Because I know that especially the Europeans and whatnot, they look at Hershey's chocolate like that. But I actually think their Special Dark is actually pretty good. It's a good dark chocolate.
I have enjoyed Special Dark. And
but,
there we go.
And Reese's, I have nothing bad to say about Reese's anything. The Reese's is awesome. I used to go to remember Friendly's, the restaurant Friendly's.
I don't know that one. No,
You've never been to a Friendly's.
I don't know Friendly's.
Oh no, it is a restaurant chain that's owned, I believe, by the Hershey Company, and it's all they of course have. It's like a diner style meals, right? And I used to get this when I used to get this thing called the Friendly Frank, but their desserts, it's all Hershey's ice cream based desserts. It's incredible. I really do recommend.
I am looking at their website. This looks very, very interesting.
Jim Dandy, they have like a lot of Reese's themed desserts. They have a banana split thing. They used to have like pineapple, like relish with the sundae. They
have a watermelon sherbet cake that when you cut into it, it's like you're cutting into a watermelon.
I remember that, and I think the dots. I don't remember if the dots were chocolate or if they were something else for the seeds. Yes, but no. If you're ever on the road, see
they're chocolate chips. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if you're ever on the road, stop at a Friendly's. You get a meal, but be sure to get a sundae or something because that's why you do it.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. It may have just been a regional thing. Did you ever hear of Farrell's? Farrell's ice cream?
I've heard of them, but I've never been to one.
It was like going to an old-fashioned, like turn-of-the-century ice cream parlor. It was so great.
Well, I'll try them. Yeah. I'm all about the ice cream.
I don't know if they're still around at all. I have no idea. Let me see.
Jim Dandy was quite the sundae. Yeah, the Jim Dandy is what they sold at Friendly's. Yeah, the Jim Dandy. The good old days.
Okay, so as soon as I start looking, Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor was, there probably isn't one. The company experienced a significant decline and closed its final location in Brea, California in 2019. Yeah, we used to have one here in the Chicagoland area. I loved it so much. I used to have birthday parties there. It was, honestly, it was not as exciting, as I think it was kind of usurped by things like Showbiz Pizza and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, it was. Oh, I miss Farrell's. I remember going there with the Boy Scout. Well, it was the Cub Scouts actually. I was a bit younger at the time, and we had this whole long section. There must have been like 24 of us, and they're bringing out all the ice cream on trays, and the server tripped and he spilled all these milkshakes and sundaes over this I forget the kid's name who's sitting right in front of me, and he's just covered in ice cream. And everyone's like, oh my god. And he's sitting there, and I kid you not, without missing a beat, he says, I hope somebody got a picture of this. We all started laughing. It was
funny.
hysterical. It was hysterical.
I was expecting a dog to come into the restaurant and start licking him or something.
Well, that would have been cool too, but
at least he had a good sense of humor about it.
Oh, you better believe his ice cream was free that night, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
he had a great.
Okay.
If you're gonna get doused in something, get doused in ice cream. That's There you go. Oh, that was good. What was that? Think I'd like that.
It's better than getting doused in a lot of other fluid type substances. Yes. I would take ice cream. Yeah, better than the slime on. You can't do that on television. All right.
Yeah. I don't know about that. See what I did there?
Yes, I don't know. I get you. Yes, and that would bring the slime down. Anyway, that you can't do that on television. That might be good old days for another week.
Oh yeah.
Might be that. All right, y'all. That's it for this week. Of Geeky Geezers. We will return next week with hopefully some good news. I mean, Toys R Us coming back. That's good news. Hopefully.
Potentially, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Until you go in there and I don't know, you look at all the horrible toys that nobody, and you know what? Let's keep it positive.
But you know what? You can't blame that on Toys R Us. They're just bringing you the toys that the toy companies are putting
Toys
out.
R Us curate good toys for your store, even if you have to go outside the mainstream.
Yeah. They. Oh, that's the other thing too. They should really start getting into. They should become a toy company in and of themselves.
That's a good idea. They should have their own exclusive toys. That's a very good idea. Good thinking.
Yeah.
All right, our local friendly suffer from high-profile crime in their parking lot right before the rest of the chain started having trouble. I'm sorry, we used to have one a couple cities over, and I went there a couple times, and I wish I'd continue going there because growing up in New Jersey was my favorite restaurant as a child, and then they disappeared because I used to get the Friendly Frank, and I know what you're saying. It's just a hot dog. Yes, I know it's just a hot dog, but it came on like this toasted bread that was folded into like a roll shape.
Interesting.
And I guess it was broiled, and I loved it. And then I would get a kid's dessert with it too, and I was, it was good times. It's all
the memories that go with it. You can't really pass on to other people.
No,
you can't. It's got to be experienced.
You got to experience it. So if you ever see a friend, try and stop in.
And that's why if you want to keep your business going, you need to appeal to families so that when the next generation has kids, they start bringing them for their birthdays and all this kind of stuff and build those memories. That's how you get generational business.
Booger 414 and a Frivolous Just a Shake. Yes, the Fribble Shake. I used to get those too.
Interesting.
Do you know what a Fribble Shake is?
I don't.
It's the Friendly's version of a shake. Okay, yes.
Sure.
Like a classic milkshake where they bring it out and you get the long metal thing that has the extra in it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They used to have that at Steak and Shake also. Steak and Shake was similar to that, yeah.
If you make toys, this is Clue Studios. If they make toys, then places like Amazon can make them rich while they use their stores as showrooms. That's synergy. That's good thinking there, Clue. Yeah, absolutely.
Booger asks, is it like the butter toasted hot dog rolls at Howard Johnson's? I don't know, but now I need to go try a hot dog at Howard Johnson's. So
there you go.
Put it on my bucket list.
There you go. I'm getting hungry. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So members. Well, first tomorrow at noon Central. That would be 1 Eastern. The first of 5 liquid lunches every weekday at noon Central. Tomorrow I will be making a little bit of a tiny little announcement about the channel going forward. Yeah, I'm trying to clickbait you a little bit. It's not that exciting. You won't miss much, but please tune in if you can. And then tomorrow night, all the members, which includes Horror Cat Dad as of tonight, and a number of others, I will be hosting the movie The Natural on Members Night at the Movies. That's The Natural. Classic. With Robert Redford, to celebrate both the life of Robert Redford and the end of baseball season this week.
It's a good time of year to show that movie too. I think it feels right. Yeah.
Exactly right.
It's a classic.
Exactly. And then, of course, Tuesday on Live from Sparkwood in 21, we will be watching the second half of Dynamic 01, a few more David Lynch short films, and then a question and answer session with David Lynch. You don't get a lot of those, so that's something to tune in for. That's 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and his affiliates. And speaking of his affiliates, on my channel immediately after, we will be watching the next episode of Blake 7 called The Games. The Gamers. I think it's games. Yes.
Are these deadly games?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, and there's a lot at stake. A very important and rare power source for their ship. That's Tuesday. Thursday on Netter's Network.
It's me and Troy right now because I don't have nobody. The guy I was going to have can't make it. So it's going to be the two of us talking. Hopefully, I have a voice.
Yeah. she's got 4 days to get her voice together, yeah.
Wait, I lost my voice 4 days ago.
I know. We'll have to get you to bed early. And then Friday, of course, well, we were talking behind the scenes, and I had originally been planning a karaoke stream, which is coming, but I don't think we're going to do that this Friday. We're going to push that off a week. Give me a chance to get some invites out there. But we're going to be we're going into the holiday season, and next Monday is the October full moon. So Boomer and I were thinking, if it's an October full moon, we need to talk about werewolves. So we'll be talking about some of our favorite werewolf movies this Friday night. So by all means, make sure you guys let us know what some of your favorite werewolf films are as well. And that brings us around to Saturday. Saturday night at the movies is over on Big Al Presents, where I believe we're going to be watching the Stephen King film Carrie with Sissy Spacek and what's his name? Vinny Barbarino.
You know, who directed that movie? That was Brian De Palma.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
It's classic, scary, good
and
stuff.
that brings us back around to right over here. So there we go.
We'll see you next week. We've been taken care of, and looking forward to seeing y'all next time.
Yep.
Have a good week. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Good night.